alive.
Thing.
Hopefully, ideally, I think, maybe.
You said at 8 o'clock. There's still 10 seconds left.
Well, YouTube gave me the option, and I decided to take it. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
very goddamn dare you!
Let me just check if I can hear us on stream. So, would you mind continuing to talk as if we are friends?
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back.
Now that's a star.
Yep.
Do you know what? Even if I mean,
I thought he was gonna start singing Smash Mouth, to be honest.
oh man,
That was the other opportunity, or the other option. Oh god, I can hear myself back.
Oh no.
hey,
Oh no.
we are working. Fantastic,
Oh, sweet, I can go around with myself. Oh, I want my baby back.
wonderful.
Just do a loop of it.
So, hello everyone. Welcome. We've got guests today. We are moving up in the world.
Do.
So,
Look at us go.
as far as introductions go, would you like me to use your online pseudonyms or would you like me to use your human names?
You can just say my name, it's fine.
And the other?
Who?
Do
Okay.
you want to?
Ryan.
Right, okay.
PsychoCerax, I'm literally all the things.
Okay, I am all the Jedi. Cool. Right, so we've got Ryan, PsychoCerax, Twitch streamer, and we've got Anya, good old friend. Say hello, both of you.
Hey.
Hello, both of you.
Oh my. I may slap you the next time I see you in person, just so you know.
That's not very social of you.
Entirely understandable.
That is wonderful. So, how is everyone? It's been an entire week. It feels like I haven't spoken to you since this morning.
I'm good.
Pretty good.
Been okay. Trying not to let the uni work cripple me, but yeah, other than that, it's all good.
Same here, really. But you know, we'll see what happens tomorrow with one of my deadlines. But that's not the
So you
focus
guys
of
returned to
today.
the uni again then?
Yes, me and Amy started back in September, so we're just trying our best to get through it while the pandemic is also raging.
Okay. You're doing a master's then
Yep.
in film?
We are doing a master's. It's very, very strange because it's all
Very
online.
interesting.
I thought you were just going to say it's very, very terrifying.
I mean, it's that
I mean,
too, because I mean,
absolutely.
you know, you have to sit there in a group and talk to a bunch of other people on the screen, and it's just like,
Who would
God,
want
what
to
do
do
you
anything like
say?
that? I want to sit in a group and talk to a bunch of people on a screen.
I know, right? Like, fucking losers. Like, nerds. Like, play a sport or something, you know?
Yeah.
Throw a sports ball.
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder what talking to people on a screen every day must feel like. That's not my job or anything.
I mean, same here, to be honest.
Socially distant
So,
wrestling, dude.
I literally don't really leave the house. Like, since March, I probably left 7 times total.
You're saying, like, my dad takes Mikey to school for me and stuff, so I just don't have to leave ever.
I
think
have
I'm
to work
getting
in
a
a
bit-
call center.
oh,
I still can't believe they won't let you work from home. You can literally answer the phone at home. Come on.
Yeah.
Can't monitor you then. That's
Exactly.
so-
No, they
19
still
minutes
monitor
before.
everything that we do, but yeah, it's something that's gonna be happening in the future. They just want to have like a support structure there, kind of thing, because it literally started like 2 months ago. So it's an understandable reason, but I think at the end of the month, the group who started at the same time as myself, are planning to start working from home then. So then I don't have to stream ridiculously late.
I mean, you could still
Yay.
stream ridiculously late anyway.
Everyone went
Nope.
quiet.
Someone would
I
jump in.
didn't really
I-
know how to respond to that.
I panicked and thought the internet had gone down
I didn't
again.
mean to go
I was like,
quiet. I just started
no.
eating M&Ms. I didn't want to do it into the microphone.
Okay,
To be
wait.
fair, I was drinking tea as well.
Do you know what? I've got a tea here as well, just in case my mouth runs a bit dry. So, hey, look at us thinking ahead.
I have a problem though. I literally all you have to do is say the word tea, and I'll go and make a cup of tea. Like
She's not
Ryan can
wrong.
How is
attest to
that a
this.
problem?
Because
All
other
I
people
drink-
need tea too. She can't eat up or drink up the whole world's supply of tea.
I mean,
Unless
that's
she tries.
true.
I mean, why are you giving me ideas?
I
Fair
mean, everyone needs a life goal, right?
Drink all the tea seems pretty
All of it.
doable, given the state of the world.
Yeah, I mean, there's worse things to do than snorting tea every day. I mean, that is what you do with tea, right?
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
You just
Yeah,
you just
fantastic.
cut up the tea bags and then snort them.
Yeah,
That's
I
how you
mean,
get the most energy transfer from them.
Yeah.
Tea. I bought this bag at the beginning of
Oh my
lockdown.
word! Oh,
I bought this at the beginning of lockdown, 31st of March, and it's still got loaded left in it.
But more importantly, cat.
Yes,
Kitty!
that's Mimi.
oh
she's
my
so
god.
pretty.
Adorable. I love her. Can I keep her?
She is a really fluffy being, and I love her very much.
Oh, look at that
Ah.
She's so pretty.
She's behind me right now, but she's sleeping on the blanket.
Adorable.
So we have 6 guests. We have 3 guests then, including Mimi.
If Mimi meows halfway through, then yes.
Yay!
Hey.
Ryan, get Einstein. Make him meow.
He only meows when he wants to come in, so.
Yeah, this
I mean-
is true. Or when he wants food.
When he wants food, he just jumps on a table.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's like, this will get their attention because I'm not supposed to be here.
I mean, to be fair,
Maybe
there are
he's an
so many
actor.
cat
Maybe he's a
girls in
big daddy
anime.
from Bioshock.
Oh.
It looks like he's wearing a big daddy suit from Bioshock.
Oh my god, yes.
She does a little bit. Or she looks like, in Death Stranding.
Oh, the
she
bridge
looks like-
baby, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Backpack fetus.
Oh. Do you know what? Death Stranding is my ultimate chill out game because I just walk aimlessly and then just stop for a while. And it really
Isn't
calms
that
me
the aim
down.
of the game?
I mean, I'm sure there's a story there. I just haven't, played it. I've just been walking aimlessly, listening to
I
music.
actually did finish that earlier this year. It's a fantastic narrative, I must say.
Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of finishing Doom all the way through. So I've got 2 missions left, and then I'm gonna go back to Death Stranding. So I just need to get some energy in me. So, rip and tear and all that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have
do
to
it.
be honest, the way that you just walk around on Death Stranding and you'll eventually get to the story. Sometimes I'm like that on Spider-Man PS4.
Oh, I haven't finished that yet.
I'll just swing around the city, fighting crime, and eventually I'll get around to the story.
That was me on Just Cause 2 on the Xbox 360. I literally accidentally completed Just Cause 2 because I was just running around, just blowing stuff up, like just getting money, getting like the better jets and stuff, and then accidentally wound up in the final mission.
I mean,
I
of
literally
course, that was
accidentally
Just Cause 3.
I still haven't finished The Witcher 3 either because I just get sidetracked so much.
It's so easy to do.
I just kept playing
played-
Gwent all the time.
Yeah, I do that.
It's like, wasn't there supposed to be a sword game in this Hearthstone game?
It's like, what's all this sword fighting doing in my card game?
I know with Spider-Man, I've played the game a couple of times, so I have played the story, but I kind of just play it for the swinging as much as I love the story, so I can't wait to do the same thing with Spider-Man Miles Morales, even though it's a smaller game.
It's gonna be good.
Absolutely.
So, what has everyone watched this week? I am curious.
Ooh. I'm trying to
Who
think.
wants to go first?
I have been watching That's So Raven.
Really?
That's a callback.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah. It took me a second to compute, but yeah.
You're like, is it? Yeah. I got Disney Plus again, so I'm just like, do you know what? Why not?
Fair.
There
Just
are probably
algorithm.
other things I've watched, but that's the main one that I've been watching while I've been doing uni work, so
Sounds
I'm
like
sure I'll remember something later on, but I'll let someone else have a turn.
this sounds like a good idea that you've got there. Watching That's a Raven.
Right,
Who's
either
next?
either someone volunteers or my finger of doom starts pointing.
I've
Oh,
been
no, the
watching-
big-
like,
But
Uh,
how will we know?
I've actually been watching the Umbrella Academy. I've been putting it off for a while because I wasn't too sure.
Oh,
Umbrella
sweet.
Academy? Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
I don't really watch stuff very often, so I was kind of like, eh. But I saw a few clips here and there, and I thought, actually, this looks kind of funny, and I've been watching a little bit of it. I'm not that far into it, but big fan of the writing. The writing and the editing is really good. I really
Yeah,
like
this
it.
first season
Awesome.
is very good, I must say.
It's a good bean.
It's a good bean. It is indeed.
Fee Fi Fo Fum.
Me and Amy watched the first episode of the new season of Ruby.
Oh, right.
I
Seems to be
constantly
not so
keep
good.
forgetting that exists.
I know, I mention it every time, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a thing, because you stopped watching after season 3.
Yeah. I think it was season 3. It was a while ago.
A lot of people did. I do think it's well worth. Like it has a bit of a dip after season 3, like while they get to grips with sort of the new, because obviously, rest in peace, Monty.
Yeah.
They had to just have Miles and Kerry doing the writing after that. So while they sort of got used to it, it's a bit rocky through season 4 and 5. It really starts to come back in like round 6, 7, and 8's looking like it's starting off pretty well as well.
I'm liking
Sweet.
it.
Sweet.
And also, I'm a little bit sad though, because one of my ships, they appear to be having relationship issues, and I'm just like, this makes me sad.
They're fighting.
They're fighting, and it makes me sad.
Well, hopefully they'll make it out the other end of the tunnel, so this is...
I'm convinced one of them's gonna die. I'm getting made.
Oh, Jesus, okay. Well...
With Ruby in general, I like this character that they're going to die.
Yeah.
Oh,
Season
so-
3 betrayed me because I really liked Pyrrha, and then she died, and my brother was with me when I was watching that season, and he was laughing at me because I was legit crying.
Oh, so it
And
was
you-
like...
For anyone who hasn't watched Volume 3 yet, by the way.
Oh, it's been out for how
Sorry.
many years? I mean, at
I'm
some
sorry.
point... At some point, we've got to be able to talk about it, you know.
Earth dies.
But, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. And David, what about you?
Well, one of the things that I've watched is kind of relevant to our discussion today, so I'll leave that until later. Dylan, you know what that is.
Yes, you did
Um,
mention. I hope I'm thinking of the right thing and not the
You
porno we
are
talked about.
indeed. But the thing that I've watched most recently has just been the most recent episode of The Mandalorian, which I really, really enjoyed, and I had some cool ties into the Clone Wars and Rebels, so I had a lot of fun with that, just geeking out about all the cool Easter eggs, but I also genuinely enjoyed the story of this week, so that's pretty much all I've watched, really.
Sweet. Yeah, I think the only things I've watched is I've caught up on Haikyuu. I watched a little bit more of Moriarty, The Patriot, and I watched Blood of Zeus on Netflix.
Oh.
My god, that was shit.
Yeah.
Like, that was...
Oh, Tom, that.
Tom's probably there watching now, just crying, just like, you lied to me.
I didn't say shit to him. If he likes it, fair enough. That's cool. We might end up talking about it if he comes to talk about Bly Manor, but yeah, it was awful.
Well, if Tom is a real fan of our show, he'll be watching right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is true. I should know. I'll be able to tell. I can
Wait,
keep track
can
of
you-
everyone.
Can you see who's viewing?
Not who's viewing.
Okay, I was gonna say.
We've had
It-
one
Tell
viewer.
tell me who viewed.
It would be pretty amazing, but I'm pretty sure Dylan's got a crystal ball.
Yeah, he's like, I know who's watching.
Yeah, my eyes roll up to the back of my head, and then all turns white, and then I just go. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I just remembered I did watch something else. I started watching something called The Queen's Gambit, and oh my god, it's really good.
I've been meaning to watch that. Yeah.
Same here. Same
It's
here.
so
I'm your
good.
Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, it's also made me want to play chess again.
Chess is
Like,
great, dude.
Like a lot. Like, it's so cool. Like, it actually taught me something about chess because it it explains like all the defenses and like openings, which I didn't know the names of, and I was just like, this is so cool.
Yeah. Like,
It's kind of sick.
if
Yeah.
you're into chess and stuff like that, there's a channel called Agad Mater, I think, on YouTube. He does chess every day, and
Nice.
Magnus Carlsen, of course. So, both of those are very cool YouTube channels if you want to get more into the chess.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Sweet. So, that's going to be what we're watching. Well, what I'm going to be watching next week, The Queen's Gambit.
Ooh, we should
Yeah.
talk about it.
Nah,
Oh my god, it could be what we do after Bly, after
Oh
we
no.
simp on it for like 6 hours.
It's just gonna turn into what we watched every week, and then we do a review of it, basically. Now.
Maybe we'll do a film and just chill for an evening
Yeah,
and only
maybe.
talk for about 4 hours instead of 6 or 7.
Maybe. We shall see. Anyway, so we're talking about anime today.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, anime.
people leave that to the host, Amy.
I know.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, anime. I hear people in this stream actually like watching anime, yes?
No, it
Do
sucks.
they?
Oh, well, I'm gonna kick you then. Bye.
Oh no.
Alright, so as far as a starting point for anime goes, rather than asking you guys what's your favorite, what was the last anime related thing that you guys actually watched, David?
I know exactly why you said that.
No, you're just on the far left on my screen, so I just went from left to right.
Oh, fair enough. So the last anime-related topic that I really watched wasn't actually an anime, but was an adaptation of an anime.
Oh no.
So,
Horror?
oh
It is-
yes, it is.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's Death Note.
Oh,
no.
You
Guessed
poor
in
son.
one.
Everyone knew.
So
Everyone's
proud of
just,
myself.
everyone's just ready to just shit on this now. It's terrible.
It really is. So, a couple of years ago, I watched the anime series of Death Note, and I really enjoyed it. Got really engaged with the story, loved the characters of L and Light, and I thought that it was just such a great story. I loved the intrigue, and I loved Ryuk as well.
He's great.
And I was very
Chad.
trepidatious. I was very trepidatious going into the Adam Wingard adaptation of the series. So much so that I put it off for 3 years, especially after hearing all the negative reactions. But I thought, seeing as we were going to do anime, I would give it a try. And yeah, everyone was right.
Awful. Isn't Willem Dafoe like the one who plays Ryuk in this one?
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe's probably the best part about the film.
He is the best part about the film, and I just think that it's really cool how he not only did he do the voice, but he also did some motion capture for the face.
That's cool.
So I really liked that when I learned about that.
So
you
yeah, that's not
you
actually Ryuk's face. That's actually Willem Dafoe's face with a little bit of makeup on.
It wouldn't shock me. Like he's just got a great face. Like if they were to do that, I'd still go, that's perfect.
I mean, look at his faces when he plays the Green Goblin. Like, they freaking terrified me when I was a kid.
Exactly. He'd be perfect for Joker as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just putting it out there. But yeah, the film was not great. I was just completely in awe the entire time that I was watching the film for how they adapted it. So as I mentioned, as we all mentioned actually, Willem Dafoe is the best part of the film, but I do have to give a big shout out to the scream that Nat Wolff gives when he sees Ryu for the very first time.
If you go with watching it as a comedy, then it works.
I still remember the first time I heard that scream. I was like, oh my god, this is great.
It's so bad.
I couldn't believe it. It was incredible.
Like channeling
Can
the
we
inner
play
diva.
Can we play it? Like, can we just play it for everybody? Just
Oh,
this
do you
is
know
a
what?
bit-
I'll see if I can find it on YouTube.
Please.
Oh,
It's
but
so funny.
did anyone else feel as though they really misunderstood
Dylan, links in Discord.
the entire?
Oh, thank you.
No, like they just really misunderstood the entire series.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Especially with the character of it is Light, right?
Like Yagami, yeah.
Yeah, I feel as though the way that they adapted Light was way off. Like I feel as though they tried to make him more of a sympathetic character in the show.
Yeah,
in
he don't work
in
that
the
way.
movie, when he's really not that way in the series. And I also thought I felt bad for Shea Wiggum. I really did, playing Light's father, because I feel as though Shea Wiggum is just a really underrated actor, and he keeps getting roles in projects that are really not up to his abilities, and I really thought that was the case here. I felt that it was a missed opportunity with the way that they handled the Death Note itself and how Light would get away with certain situations. But I will say this. I didn't mind Lakeith Stanfield as L.
No, I felt like they did an okay job, honestly, in that role.
Yeah, I thought so too. I would have loved to have seen more of him in the film.
Yeah, he got sidelined quite often.
Yeah, exactly. It felt that they were trying to go for a Bonnie and Clyde situation with Light and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
That was the focus of the film, in a way.
It didn't work at all.
I mean, I was gonna say, I kind of liked the girl's character in this as opposed to in the anime, because in the anime she just thirsts for Light, and it's just like, no, stop it.
Okay,
I agree
guys,
with you
so
there.
I'm gonna send a link to a watch together, and we can enjoy Light Scream in unison if you would like.
Wonderful.
That's
Oh, let's do
fantastic.
it.
I'll
Okay,
make sure to
fucking open
get
it.
the video up on stream just so that everyone will have context to it as well. Righto then.
Looks like we're all in. Proceed
Okay.
with Scream.
Sorry?
I said it. Is everybody in the watch together?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 people.
Cool.
Alright,
Okay.
so let me see.
I love the thumbnail of it. It's so
I
good.
know. It's great.
It's a beautiful thing.
You can just tell it's gonna be over the top.
Yeah.
Okay, come on now. Let me find Chrome so I can stream it for the good people. My goodness. It's so hard.
On.
Let me see. Okay, maybe if I try these and perhaps no, we can't do that. Oh,
Disappointing.
disappointed. um.
It actually also gives me a good idea for a topic that we can discuss later on after we've
Woo!
gone through
Okay, sure.
each other's animes.
Oh
Okay.
my. Okay, so let me just
Look at
get
me.
the proportions
host now.
right.
He's the host now. He's taken over. The power has gone to his head. Run
How,
away.
how fucking dare you? I'll kill you.
It's because he's a Twitch affiliate now. It's gone to his head.
It so has not.
I'm kidding. I just like bragging about it for you.
Yeah, that's what
You're welcome.
Yes.
Right, I just got to do one more thing and then we can watch it without any inhibitions. Okay. Oh no, I got to do this again. Okay. Please remain talking.
Okay.
Okay.
Whoa,
Uh,
baby.
We will watch this clip, I swear to God.
Now play Wonderwall.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Oh,
as much as that might be painful, I'd like not to get.
No, I'm kidding.
DMCA.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I know.
What did you guys feel about the Death Note film? Like obviously we all hated it, but like, what did you think were the real weaknesses behind the film?
I mean, I'm kind of sad about the L didn't get included very much because I mean the whole thing is about like this cat and mouse game between the two of them. So it's like the fact that they just kind of sidelined him. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Absolutely, I
It's
felt
very
as though a lot of the film, I felt as though L was kind of mourning and worried over his. I don't want to say mentor, but like, you get what I mean, like the guy who looked after him from a young age, and I guess he kind of mentored him, but I don't want to say mentored, but you get what I mean. The guy who goes missing after Light writes his name in the Death Note to discover L's identity. I felt as though for most of the film he was just worried about his friend.
Yeah. See, that's the thing with Light. It doesn't, like, in the anime, it doesn't seem like he gives a crap about anybody. He's just like, I don't care, you're in my way, I'm gonna kill you. And, like, it doesn't really come across like that in the film.
Yeah, he really seems to care a lot more than he does in the anime. Because I felt as though he just kind of hated everyone in the anime, whereas I didn't get the sense here, and I also didn't get the intensity of the series, because I really loved how the series relied on the tension of people not knowing who he is, especially in a scene that I know that Dylan loves.
Okay, do you know what? I think I've got it working. So.
Okay.
Like scream time.
Oh fucking hell! I closed the window.
Oh,
He's
I am-
gotten it working, by the way.
I literally just got it working, and I am very annoyed.
no.
Ah, okay.
But it's not like we're streaming live to thousands of people all across the internet right now.
Hello,
No,
Internet.
this is true, but this does let me know what to keep prepared, just in case we do something like this again.
That's true.
Sorry.
How dare you? Let me just get back to the watch together. Okay.
I think, just whilst waiting for you, I think honestly one of the things that really is the sort of detraction for the Death Note live action film is the fact that I feel like the director themselves doesn't take it seriously. They kind of play around it and quite have a lot of jokey scenes as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with
And
you.
they're not. I mean, Death Note has always had really offbeat and dark comedy moments, especially in the manga itself. But the ones that they did in the live-action film seem to more detract from the really stark contrast. You'll have like a really dark scene of light in one end, and then like it'll cut to some kind of jokey, weird playing off high school scene in the next, and it feels like it has no sense of what it's trying to be. It doesn't know where it's going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am ready.
Go.
Ready, go.
This is genuinely the most stressful 10 minutes of my life. Right. So, to all of you wonderful people who do not know what we're talking about, play, damn you, play!
Oh, it's playing.
Fine.
Playing. Ooh.
Oh,
And that's how I read Willem Dafoe too.
that scene is gonna haunt Nat Wolf for the rest of his career.
There was a scene that when me and my friends were watching it together all those years ago, there's a scene where he's on the phone and Willem Dafoe, I'm going to just call him Willem Dafoe at this point, reaches towards him, tries to talk to him, and he just turns around and goes, "Shut the fuck up, okay?" And it's just really, really weird and out of tone with the whole scene that we all just burst out laughing because it was so funny.
I don't blame
It's
you.
not meant to be funny.
I love the fact that if like the first scream like descended in terms of pitch, it would be so close to a Wilhelm scream. It's like it'd be a really good approximation of it.
Oh dear.
What a wonderfully terrible thing.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, that Death Note film was it was a ride.
I'm just sad that this got funded.
On the one hand, yes, this is true. Do you know what? Though? At least we do have a couple of half-decent live-action Death Note films, like the 2006 and 7 Japanese
Yeah,
adaptations are pretty good.
I liked them. I actually watched them before I watched the anime because I'd never heard of it.
Okay, interesting.
I think my ex at the time was like, "I think you'd like this," and then like he showed me it, and then he was like, "Oh, by the way, there's also an anime," and I was like, "Where is it? Give me it. I need more of it."
There was also a 2015 Japanese TV show, and that was kind of crap. So, yeah, unfortunately, I'd actually say the Wingard version was better than the 2015 series, if you can believe it.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So, yes, David, you consumed the second worst version of the live-action Death Note films. Congratulations.
At least I didn't watch the worst.
This is true. I did, so you're welcome.
Ever the optimist.
Oh
He
yeah.
watched it, so we don't have to.
A fucking
Dylan.
nostalgia critic. Okay.
I know.
Dylan.
Yes.
I remember you doing either a video essay or an actual essay where actually it was a video essay.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Where you included a scene from Death Note where you discussed the tension in the scene where Light was trying to.
Oh yeah, for my masters, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Would you like to describe it?
No. No, like
It's like there's a 70% chance he just says no. Yeah.
Like,
I wasn't disappointed.
is that one scene where Light is talking to the woman from the US and trying to convince her not to go back to the police station? Like, I just did like a 10-minute analysis on that video, on that particular scene, before he gets her actual name and sends her off to be killed. But yeah, it was related to me analyzing fight scenes, and that's me explaining how structure works. And my god, the structure in the Death Note anime is just, oh, it's orgasmic. It's so good.
Brilliant.
Very good.
Were you disappointed that that scene wasn't featured in the film, or did you think that it was unnecessary?
Honestly, I wouldn't know where it would go in the Adam Wingard film because it was a very different beast to the original story.
Yeah.
If they were doing like a miniseries, I could imagine them doing it like focusing on the first half of the story up until, L bites the dust. But if it's a feature film, I really wouldn't know where you would have that scene, to be honest. Like, that's just one of the great scenes. Like,
Yeah.
him talking to Elle in the cafe after their first tennis match is also pretty epic, so there's a lot of good stuff in Death Note.
Absolutely.
I feel like the Japanese film adaptations had it right, doing it in 2 parts.
Yeah, and also they focused on a very particular part about the story, whereas
Yeah.
the Wingard version was like, okay, we're gonna try and do this, that, and this at the same time, and it just kind of ended up being very muddled at best.
I don't know whether it was because they were trying to truncate a series into a film, like a singular film, but I felt as though it was just kind of rushed as well. Like you don't really feel the escalation of the events with the Death Note and Light signing all these horrible people's names into the Death Note. You don't really feel the escalation.
Yeah,
of
like
that as
also,
much as you-
this is something I've noticed a lot more in newer pieces of media, but in Death, like from what I remember of it at least, like in terms of plot, it felt like a lot was happening, yet when you really look at it, not much was happening. It's like, you're telling me a lot of things happen, but not much is actually happening. What's going on, kind of thing. It's a really weird disconnect you have.
Absolutely. I felt as though it was like the first 20 minutes or so were him just killing off people and then gaining attention, and then the rest of the film was like, oh yeah, he's killed people, we've got to find them. and there wasn't much of a build up at all to that.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Well, at least we started with a stinker. Who wants to go
Yeah.
next?
Has to get better.
Oh yeah. So
There's
Ryan.
left on it. You go next.
Oh
If you're
my.
going in
Okay.
the line,
Well, if we're going in the line, of course. Why not?
might as well.
The last thing I watched was episode 2 of Moriarty the Patriot, which is a Japanese offshoot side story internal universe of Sherlock Holmes, where it's taking place from Moriarty's perspective, from childhood to adulthood. And it's actually kind of fascinating. Really good detox from having to talk about Ilona Holmes multiple times a day, which is just, oh my god, that film.
I
Yeah.
love that film.
Oh, do you know what? I love it
It's
so
his
much.
favorite.
I'm making 7-part miniseries on it on YouTube just so I can talk in depth about it on my love for it.
You're so dedicated to it.
I know, right? Like,
You have to be the #1 fan of Enola Holmes.
exactly.
yeah.
Like, my first part looked at the first 6 minutes of the film, and it took me 18 minutes to get through all of it. Like, I'm that
wow.
dedicated. But yeah,
True
on,
love right there.
on to the actual good Holmes. Moriarty the Patriot. Yeah, it's okay. So, have you guys seen Hellgirl?
No.
No.
Anya, have you seen Hellgirl?
No.
Okay. So Hellgirl, the original Hellgirl was a mid-2000s, like 2004, 2005 anime, and the basic premise is, okay, you go online, you write a name on a website at midnight, and the next day the person's name of whom you wrote on the website will die. And
Oh, so
will
it's Death
be
Note.
Death Note
basically,
Online.
and then the person's soul will literally be taken to hell by a fucking chibi little girl, and I'm like, okay.
Twist on Death Note.
Yeah,
Interesting.
but it's like,
That's like Death Note meets Drag Me to Hell.
essentially, and it's kind of like that, where Moriarty is just looking at crimes like Sherlock Holmes, but as opposed to bringing them to justice and taking them on, he finds the people that have been wronged and gives them the means to get revenge on the person that actually did kill someone close to them or something like that. And then he just facilitates murders for other people without
Nice.
letting anyone get caught. And I'm like, oh my god, this is great. So it's kind
That
of
does
like,
sound really interesting.
yeah, so it's kind of like the origins of how Moriarty got to the mastermind of the world kind of thing.
Yeah,
I like the sound of that.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
feel like there
I
should be
love
more.
I love like anime and honestly just generally Japanese depictions of London.
Oh
Like
God, yeah.
with like obviously JoJo is probably the one that most people will think of. I love like the first part of JoJo, just like how they depict London, and
Oh
like
my
the
God,
Professor
yeah.
Layton games as well. I just love the like what they see Britain and London as is super fascinating to me.
Yeah. Oh, did you see Burn the Witch, the new work by Tite Kubo?
I did not. I have been meaning to check it out, but haven't like checked anything out about it.
Yeah,
Just like heard
because
about it.
that's set in like quote unquote modern day London as well. Story aside, world building in that film, show, miniseries is actually pretty cool.
Gotcha.
Nice.
And plus, it's a tight Kubo project, so every character just looks fucking stellar.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So,
And it's actually interesting that you would bring up Type Kubo because I think the last like actual anime that I watched may have been Bleach.
oh my
Uh,
goodness, I'm so glad.
Yeah, so I was like watching through like me and Amy. I wouldn't say recently, but it's just been so long since I've actually watched an anime. But it was I'd say a couple months ago. We were watching through the Soul Society arc.
Oh,
yeah, I
yes.
remember.
Yeah,
I remember,
started
and
watching
then
the next bit, but didn't like honestly just stopped because just
Yeah.
time and stuff.
To be honest,
But,
like
yeah.
Soul Society arc was pretty much the peak Bleach. To be honest.
Yeah, it's so fantastic. But there's a guy, a YouTuber, Super Eye Patch Wolf,
Oh
who's
yeah.
done like a couple of videos on like how Bleach went downhill, and like one of the big sort of points that he brings up is that the Hueco Mundo arc is basically Soul Society arc, but without the really good parts of the Soul Society arc.
Yeah.
So
It's like a really stripped down version. It's like The Force
Yeah.
Awakens.
yeah, it really is. But yeah, no, it's the Soul Society arc is just so very good. The characterization, the fights in it, and the flawed, but they are still extremely good.
Oh yeah, like it's one of those arcs where there are flaws, absolutely, but the peaks are so high that you kind of overlook the flaws, and you're like, oh god, yes.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely. Like the fight between Ichigo and Renji, like with everything
Oh,
surrounding
God, yeah.
it, and it's just so very good.
Even the one with Zaraka Kenpachi is just epic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think one of my favorite moments in all of anime is when Ichigo charges at Aizen and he just stops him with a finger, and I'm like, oh my god, you absolute Chad.
Yeah. Oh man, that twist with Aizen coming back, it's such a good twist.
Oh, like, whenever someone says Bleach is terrible, I'm like, okay, specify which part of Bleach. Because if you're saying Soul Society is
part?
terrible, I'm gonna be slapping you hard. Sweet.
does that
Nah.
mean it's my turn?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm trying to think because. Okay, I'm gonna talk about JoJo then because we watched the first part like a while back and the second part.
First and second, and we got about halfway through the third.
Yeah, we watched them after a couple of months after Bleach, I think. So I'll talk about that. Yeah, I really liked it. It's just I think it took us a while to get through it. Just because, like, I think after a couple of episodes, we'd be like, oh, the story's slowing down a little bit, so we get a bit, like, fed up with it. But yeah, from what I saw, I enjoyed it. Like, I immediately hated Dio the second he kicked that dog. I was like, I hate you, I hope you die.
Do you know what? I love him because I hate him so
Spoilers.
much. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, he's a really good bad guy, like, but yeah, I was just like, I've never, like, actively wanted to strangle a character before. So I was
I
like,
don't
this
believe
is
that.
I hope you all enjoy part 6 and part 7 whenever they get adapted because they're really good.
Oh,
We'll get there eventually. We're still halfway through part 3.
Yeah.
I'll
So
take
yeah,
it.
by the time we get past part 5, at least part 6 will probably have been adapted anyway. So yeah.
by the
I'll
time we
take
get there, yeah.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed. To be honest, I really enjoyed watching the dub version because, oh my god, they're so British. It's so great. Especially the character of Speedwagon. He's just the
Oh my
most
God.
British. It is so hilarious.
Fantastic. I love his voice acting.
I know.
It's so over the top.
It is so British, it's comical.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's so good. Oh, and I'll be honest. The first JoJo so far is the one I liked the most.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Because like the second JoJo, just I don't know if this is maybe because of the voice actor, but every time he was like, "And now you're going to do this," you're just like, "Please stop talking." You
It did get a bit
annoying
over the top.
git." So much so that you could kind of guess when he was gonna do it. It's like he's gonna tell the bad guy what they're gonna do now. Watch any second, and then he did it. And then when we were watching the third part, like I think a lot of the time when he starts being mean to his mum, I'm like, "What the hell, dick?" like you and
I mean, everyone
point
deserves
was
to.
like,
Oh.
I don't like you.
I mean, I suppose everyone deserves to be called Dick at least once in their life.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
just
true,
the
but
fact that
JoJo
he's
is
just
not-
like, "Shut up," just like straight up, "Shut up," and his mum's just like, "Okay," and I'm like, "I hate you too." 'Cause, no.
I'm gathering that even though you love the show, you kind of hate everyone, don't you?
I do, yes. No, I'm kidding. Like, I think that's a testament to how good the show is because it makes me hate characters on purpose. Like, I think it's the goal to make you not like JoJo at first in the third part.
Okay, when you say JoJo, who specifically do you mean?
Jotaro.
Okay.
Jotaro, sorry. I'm very bad at remembering names, so yeah. But yeah, it's actually interesting because he's also I can't remember the voice actor's name, but isn't he like the voice of a character in Persona 5?
Matt Mercer.
Yeah, that's the one. I love his voice; it's so good.
I will always stand Matt Mercer. And you should all go watch Critical Role.
Yeah, that's good. I really like the story of JoJo, to be honest. Like, I like how it carries it on, like with the descendants and stuff. I like that aspect of it. And I think the fight scenes are pretty cool, and I'm now running out of things to say about it, and I'm like now wishing I picked a different anime.
I think it'll really pick up in terms of like our interest in it when Dio like actively comes back.
Yeah,
Which
I feel like
think
that's...
is like towards the end of part 3. I can't exactly remember, but it's I think the end of part 3 or the end of part 4 is when like Dio comes back again, and that's when I'll be like, I really want to keep watching this.
Yeah. Oh, I have one more thing to say. The opening themes slap. They're so good.
Even the ending themes, my god, they're
Yeah.
epic.
Yeah.
Like,
This honestly,
sorry, I was gonna say I just don't like. I don't want to skip the intro. I just want to listen to it.
yeah, it's actually it was actually Jono's theme that got me like really wanting to watch it, because like I actually learned Jono's theme on guitar a little while ago because of like another YouTuber who like does it on guitar, and it's just like that looks incredibly fun to play. I'm gonna copy what he does, and I just kept playing it for like a week.
So we know what we're doing next stream. Live performance.
Oh no! Oh
You're done.
You have earned this, my son.
I refuse.
Oh no.
What have you done?
Righto
Anyway,
then. That leaves the best for last. Anya,
Hi.
regale us with your tale.
What tale?
I don't know. I was hoping you had one.
Whichever
Aw.
anime you've watched.
The only latest thing that I kind of have watched is two things really. I recently rewatched Spirited Away because
Ooh.
I was just feeling really shit one day, you know. And I was like, I'm gonna just rewatch Spirited Away, and it was fantastic. It was just as wonderful as I remember it. Thank you, Netflix, for hosting these, but also fuck you for existing anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually rewatching it because I hadn't seen Spirited Away since I was like 16, 17. I was like, okay, so there's a lot of really good stuff to it, but there's also a lot of introductions that I think is crucial to introducing children into narrative experiences. So the thing with Ghibli films is that they're accessible for all ages, which is a fantastic thing, but early on it can help with solidifying narrative experiences, especially horror as well for children, and a neat way to get into more horrific situations. Like you've got like No Face, the ideas of turning into something you don't want to be, disappearing, vanishing forever. You've got these sort of lighter horror tones that punctuate a lot of the Ghibli films, and I think that's a really, really nice little segue in for kids to sort of get into and go familiar with these life-threatening situations, but from a standpoint that they can watch it and experience it, and it's not too dreadful or traumatizing. I don't know where I was going with that.
Well,
No, it was definitely.
yeah, I get what you mean. Like, kids need to be traumatized every so often, put them in their place.
I mean, maybe, but no. The point is that one of the biggest things that you get from my parents saying like, no, you can't let kids watch this, you can't have them watch that. What do they think of it? It could be too scary.
Yeah.
But the thing is, horror for kids is good. Horror is a great genre, and there's a lot of stuff that it segues in, not just because of Ghibli films, but like Goosebumps. Think about Goosebumps. for
Yeah.
kids, how that was for you.
I suppose
And-
it's horror in the appropriate dosage.
Yes,
Yeah.
or in a lot of Ghibli films, not quite always horror, but life-threatening situations, cataclysmic events that aren't overwhelming, but it's
Yeah.
enough for them to grasp.
Absolutely. I know growing up, I didn't really get introduced to full-on horror until I was much older. But I know when I was little, I always used to love like scary type stories.
I was watching Evil Dead by the time I was
Even
like
something
4 or
like
5,
Scooby-Doo.
so.
Well, you were way ahead of me.
Nightmare on Elm Street traumatized me when I was 9, so you know.
God.
It's my mum's fault. She left it lying around, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" Watched it, and I was like, "Okay, I'm never sleeping again."
And then Species when I was like 7. It was great.
Oh,
I think like Anya and Dylan was saying, kids can watch scary things in the appropriate doses, but I also think that they kind of enjoy it as well. Like
Yeah.
it's not scary enough to traumatize them, but it's enough to like fill them with adrenaline in a way.
yeah. I mean, you
Yeah.
have all these lists with like films that have like horror moments, but it's like obviously a non-horror thing, and you have like top 10s of them like all over the place. So I think just putting maybe like I think there's a scene in Spider-Man 2 where
Ooh.
Dr. Octopus like takes out a bunch of surgeons, and I forgot it was in there, so I just watched it with Mikey, thinking, "Oh, this is fine," and then I watched it, and I was like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He really enjoyed
He
it.
like stabs a bunch of them in the neck. It's like,
Yeah.
I can just imagine Mikey just going, "Ooh, surgeon go boom."
You can just tell that Sam Raimi was just having a great time filming that scene,
absolutely.
Oh,
right down
yeah.
to his horror roots.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I forgot that scene was in there, and I was like, "Oh no, I have traumatized my child forever." And he was fine with that scene.
See, that's the kind of thing. Obviously, you're naturally worried about what they can and cannot see, but it's actually quite easy for them to be eased into a lot of these sort of narrative-driven scenes and scenarios if
Yeah.
they're given in the right way. Like in the Spider-Man film, there's not a lot. There's like almost no blood or gore in
Oh
that scene.
yeah, definitely.
You know what he's doing. He's killing these people, especially with like a pen and shit. But
Yeah,
there's no
but you
blood, there's
can't
no
see-
gore. So
Yeah.
it's dialed back enough that it's more digestible and more enjoyable for
Oh, yeah.
audiences.
I did find it really weird that in Spider-Man 2, the way that they have that scene where you clearly know exactly what's happening, but there's no blood or anything. But in the first Spider-Man film, the final fight is brutal. And
Yeah.
Toby ends up covered in blood, and Goblin gets skewered by his own glider. And you know, it's just really funny the way that it changed in a way to, I don't want to say less brutal, because like the scene in Spider-Man 2 really is brutal, but you know, there's no blood or anything. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah. Also, I'd argue you have in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, you have the Dementors. Like, they could be considered quite scary, but
they're quite terrifying. I remember when I was quite young watching like Prisoner of Azkaban in the scene where they're trying to suck his soul out near the lake or whatever it is.
yeah. That
Is
could
it
be
weird
quite...
that I wanted to be a Dementor?
There's something about you, Dylan.
I'm like, oh,
How
what?
about you?
Because it
Also,
was
you straight up have a werewolf in that film.
Oh, yeah,
True.
Not just a werewolf, but a really, really kind of graphically gruesome werewolf transformations.
Yeah.
Very true.
I suppose I really like the Dementors because they kind of reminded me of the ring wraiths from Lord of the Rings, and I really loved the ring wraiths.
Yeah.
So
I can see why.
I'd even say, to carry on with the Harry Potter little discussion there, I'd even say the giant spiders in the second film, Chamber of Secrets, because spiders is a pretty big fear for a lot of people. And you know, I know growing up myself, I was not, despite loving Spider-Man, I was not a fan of spiders at all. So those scenes really creep me out.
yeah, well, that was quite the detour considering we started with Spirited Away. I love it.
Very true. Sorry about that.
It's okay. This is just how we do. We just go on tangents.
It's all David's fault.
No, I thought it was a good point.
Yeah, absolutely.
I spirited away my own segment about
Oh.
that kind of happens, and that kind of happens with that kind of analytical approach when you come to looking at these things, and why extrapolating different scenes and different elements from movies and anime and other forms of media can be great, and done in specific ways it can be also helpful.
Absolutely. I mean, especially if you're looking at it from an analytical standpoint, if you have more references, if your argument is towards the good or the bad, that's always going to be more helpful to refer to other films. So, yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned two films, or two things, Anya. What was the second thing? I'm curious.
Oh, second one, El Malloy Case Files, which is a adaptation.
Oh my god, yes!
Of a light novel manga, which is to do with Fate, which is the Nesuverse whole manga, anime, video game sort of franchise about heroes of legends that come back to life to fight in Holy Grail wars for very powerful magicians.
Do you know what? I've heard a lot of people say that they didn't like El Malloy or thought it was boring. I was riveted the entire time.
I loved it, so fuck them. It was
I know, right?
It
like
was really good. It was a great, because it also continued sort of what happened to Waver post Third Holy Grail War, wasn't it?
Third one, I think.
The third one's the events of Fate Zero. Fourth is Fate's Day Night.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to get into Fate, just start with watching Fate Zero. It's great.
Oh my god, Fate Zero is so... like, it's orgasmic how good it is.
So for those here that don't know much about Fate, again, magicians summon up these sort of ancient servants to fight for them. So you got like Hercules is one of them. You got King Arthur as well. You've got
Alexander of Macedonia's there.
Gilgamesh as well from the Epic of Gilgamesh. All these heroes come back to fight for them for the Holy Grail. What is the Holy Grail? It's the Holy Grail, and it can grant them one wish, anything they want. So everyone's fighting for it. But you do die, for real, in this. You are actually fighting, don't forget that.
So, Anya, are you telling me that people die if they are killed?
Yes.
Okay. Not like that is something I still remember from the original Fate Stay Night adaptation. Is like when Shoya is just saying people die when they are killed, and that's how it should be. I'm like, do you understand what you're saying? Which is why I'm so glad Ufotable did the reboot. It's slightly better. It's a lot more palatable, but oh man, that first Fate adaptation was such a mess.
But if you do get into Fate, I'm sure you'll find something you like, because there's lots of games, there's visual novels, there's movies, there's shows, there's
Yeah.
manga if you want to read that, or if you don't want to do any of them, there's a mobile game which I play religiously.
Oh
sometimes.
god, yeah, that's true.
I tried to get into Fate a while ago. I had the same problem that I have with Marvel, which is just that there's so much, and like I don't like getting into things by halves. You know, just like playing some of the games of a series or watching some of the things of a series. If I want to get into a universe, I want to just experience all of it, which is why I cannot go back and watch the Marvel movies, because I will never do anything else ever again.
I know a lot of people who are like that with Doctor Who, although you can either start with classic or the modern series, a lot of people are like, okay, so there's a lot of both. Where do I start? And sometimes they feel pressured into starting right back at classic, and they want to work their way up to modern, and that is a lot of content. So I completely understand that.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm not like that with is Final Fantasy, because I don't remotely want to play Final Fantasy 15.
Or Kingdom Hearts, because the flipping mobile games can get to.
Even that, I've downloaded it. So it's just like, I at least want to experience it. I just downloaded it and then never touched it.
Actually, that brings me on to something that was a great point, actually, which is something that applies to a lot of anime that you brought up. It's hard when a series or franchise has a daunting amount of hurdles to get into and enjoy.
Yeah.
You just sit there and you just think, fuck, no, I'm not doing this. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
and a lot of this can be applied to long-running Shonen Jump manga and anime, like One Piece, which is God knows how many episodes at this point.
And God knows when it will end.
It will never end.
Yeah, or
One Piece will continue until the heat death of the universe.
But that's the thing. Let's say you wanted to get into One Piece, you've got a lot ahead of you, and you can look at that and go, "Fuck, really?" And I guess that's kind of something that tends to plague a lot of sort of maybe some of the bigger franchises around anime. I'm not sure if you would agree on that.
I suppose it depends, because recently, at the very least, like, the anime seasons have very much been getting into the 12 episode or 24 episode seasons, like broadcast TV, as opposed to long running shonen. I think Black Clover's the longest running show at the moment, next to One Piece and the like. So at least that started within this decade. So they very much are turning to seasonal, and I do think it's better because we get far higher quality animation and storytelling without having to worry about filler. So
I think that kind of comes off the back of the sort of growing trend of binge watching and
absolutely.
sort of Netflix and streaming sites serializing these ideas of short burst seasons but with a lot of content in, and digestible enough that people want to have just a watch of like 6 episodes in one night, 12 episodes in a single day, that kind of thing. So a lot of people are deviating away from these long running shows. Like, okay, so let's go back to early 2000s shows called like Lost and Heroes, for example. Lots of seasons, lots of episodes, a lot happening, a lot to get into. And then we fast forward, and now we've got shows like Umbrella Academy. That's a great example, actually, where it's like you got 12 episodes for one season, 12 episodes for another. There's your lot. There's not multiple seasons ongoing. There's not too much complexity as well. I think a lot of anime has like realized that people are enjoying this sort of more short form narrative media. And they sort of roll into that. And I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. It depends really from your perspective. I don't really like looking at longer than 24 episode seasons of things.
Yeah,
I get what you mean.
I can feel you there.
Like, I suppose, like,
businesswoman these days.
like, there is a part of me that kind of misses at the same time having an absurdly long running show. Like, for instance, okay, let's go back to the mid 2000s. Two shows that I was watching regularly were, well, three shows: Bleach, Naruto, and D. Gray Man. Which, if you know D. Gray Man, high five! I fucking love you.
I haven't seen Greyman in a very long time.
They did the sequel, and that was let's not. Anyway, it's kind of like that where you can invest a lot of time into a long running show, and you have a very real possibility of getting burnt hard, like Bleach or D. Gray Man. But it's like, if you're into something like Naruto, yeah, there's a ridiculous amount of filler. But when you get to that final episode where Naruto and Sasuke are beating the hell out of each other, it is so satisfying knowing that you stuck with it for 10 years and you watch that episode and you're like, I don't fucking care about Boruto. I watched the story start to finish and I'm done, and it's so satisfying. Like, again, it's very hit or miss, and if it's One Piece, again, I'm pretty sure it's going to be going well after my death, but yeah, there are pros and cons to both styles of anime. I'm more inclined to go with the seasonal anime because, like, if Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer was long running, I doubt it would have the production quality it did have, and that would be detrimental to the quality of storytelling, and I would probably not have been as invested as I was.
It's fair.
I'm not as well versed in anime as you guys, so a lot of the television that I have consumed has been more Western television series. So, like you mentioned, Anya, a lot of the shows that I have seen have either been the 24 episode length series or the 8 episode length series, and I kind of come under the radar of it really depends upon the show. Like, sometimes it's perfectly well, a show can be perfectly well suited to 8 episodes, or sometimes it depends on the format. Because I was very daunted by the prospect of because I really wanted to watch it, and that's 15 seasons of 20 episode seasons.
Yes, it's a big show.
That's a huge amount. I think there's like 328 episodes of that show.
Which show was it? Sorry, because it cut out for me.
Oh, sorry.
Supernatural.
Yeah, that is 14 seasons, if I remember right off the top of my head. That's a lot.
That's what put me off watching it, because I remember when I was in college, people were like, oh, you should watch Supernatural, and I'm like, that's freaking too many seasons of my life that I'll never get back. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
I couldn't.
And then you have One Piece.
I have a question, actually, that I want to go around, if that's okay.
How dare you? Go for it.
I want you, each person, to go around and I want you to name a show you think is too long for you to consider getting into, and a show you really enjoyed and you think is the right amount of episode length, if you will. Something that was perfect to you and something that's too daunting.
Okay, sounds fair.
Left to right.
I mean, I can kick off starting since I'm the one that
Sure.
It was my idea. So, like, for example, I think that a show like Prison Break is too long. That has an irregular amount of episodes per season. There's about 5 seasons. One has 29, 26, 37, and 14. It's up and down. It's all over the place. It feels disconjointed. And I'm sorry, Dad, I'm not going to watch Prison Break. I love my dad a lot. Prison Break just does not appeal to me. However, something that I thought was actually paced quite well, actually, was I've only seen the first season of it, but Orange is the New Black. The first season had the right amount of pacing, right amount of episodes. It felt like there was a constricted narrative, and everything was thought of carefully in each episode on which beats it was going to hit and where it was going to end off. And personally, I think that is my too daunting. Sorry, Dad. And hey, this is quite a nice amount of episodes. Quite cozy.
I'm happy to go next. It's the meme answer. It's the generic answer, but I have to say One Piece because it is literally like if EastEnders had a narrative like that you had to watch from episode 1. It's just like that's just not feasible, not remotely feasible.
Yeah, I tried, remember? And I was just like, I give up.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
like if we're going to include soaps, then it becomes a whole different concept.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing with soaps in it. Like they don't have that consistent narrative that you need to experience from day one, from freaking 1985 or whenever the hell EastEnders started or whatever.
Know what the longest running soap is?
Coronation
No,
Street.
is it Coronation Street?
Yeah, it is.
wow.
It started in like 65 or something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so. It's an old show.
It's an old one.
Imagine downloading the entirety of that. Imagine how
Oh,
much space
no.
on a hard drive that would take up.
Never mind that. Imagine how many brain cells you'd have left. Like, -5?
Yeah. And that's by the time we get to 1970.
Exactly.
In terms of perfect length, I think Helsing Ultimate
Oh, fuck
might
yes.
be perfect length for me. Like it just tells its story. It doesn't mess around with filler and that. And it's just like, here's our story. It's fucking awesome. Just watch it. Now go home and do whatever else.
Yeah.
Oh, Helsing Ultimate. Like, we gotta do an entire stream on just that. It is...
Yes.
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, fully down for that.
And Helsing Abridged. Because
Oh my God.
I want to talk about Abridged because I like Abridged. In fact, me and Ryan kind of bonded over Abridged.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Team 4-star,
Oh,
man,
large
at their
one.
peak.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm happy to go next.
Go on then.
So, as far as too long, I would say as much as it's a tie between two without taking the meme answer of One Piece. As much as I would... It's the kind of world I would love to get into, but in terms of sheer length, I'm fucking terrified. First is Berserk, and the second is Legend of the Galactic Heroes. Like, they both seem...
Not bad at that.
I do recommend Legend of the Galactic Heroes if you can, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, like, because it is like 100-episode anime, and I'm like, oh, it feels like the kind of thing I would be so into. But I'm like, that is 100 episodes, but then again, like, I suppose it just depends on just how busy I am, but I'm the sort of person that's like, if I do start, I do want to finish it eventually, instead of just dropping it off for a while, especially if it's something that I'm really gonna like, so I've always been hesitant about starting it. And then
Going off-
Berserk as well, it's just, yeah.
Going off the back of that, actually, that's one thing that sort of come up with when you look at these 100-episode long whatever shows, is the fact that if you do try to get into it, and you are, you push yourself, you're going to go, I'm going to make that commitment and watch those 100 episodes,
Yeah.
and then you drop it because it's too much. You feel that kind of sort of anguish in you because it's like,
Exactly, yeah.
I've devoted time to it as well, resources, and it's just like, man, I just could not vibe with it.
And then as far as perfect goes, I would say, because I watched this recently, either Violet Evergarden or Bly Manor. Loved both of them. My god, it was perfect. Not too long, not too short, just the right amount. And have any of you guys seen Violet Evergarden?
I have.
Oh my god, episode 10 can fuck off, right? Like,
It's
my
on my
god.
watch list.
Everyone who's
Literally, I'm not even joking.
Now go watch episode 10 and don't watch anything else, just episode 10.
Oh my god, like, how could you? But, like, Violet Evergarden is so good. Like, 9 out of the 12 episodes, I was in tears. It's so good. It is impeccable writing, and it's perfectly paced. It is fantastic. And the same goes for Bly Manor. It is amazing.
It's very good.
It is very good.
Yeah, I don't mind going next.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
The the one that I'm daunted by watching, but I really do want to watch it, is Fairy Tale.
Oh my god, yes.
Like, I'm intrigued by it, but I'm just like, that's a lot of episodes. to
Like,
go
don't get me
through.
wrong.
Ah.
Fairy Tale, I'm not gonna lie, if you watch the first arc, you've seen it all, because it's the same arc repeated over and over again. I'm not even joking.
Fair enough.
And all you gotta know
Um,
is, if you have Natsu on your team, you will win. Period.
Okay. It's because me and Ryan a while back we used to watch like Death Battle, and they had one of the characters from Fairy Tale, and I was like, they seem really cool. I want to watch this show, and then I was like,
Yeah,
lots of
because
episodes.
the writer of Fairy Tale was the assistant for Oda in One Piece, so that's why the art style is very similar. He was his assistant for a few years.
I didn't know that. And my second choice is, I feel like Castlevania is the right length.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like, it's very easy to binge watch it. Like, I binge watched the first season in a day, so it was just like, this is the right amount of episodes for me to enjoy this show, and I didn't think it needed to be longer.
Castlevania is so good. Watch it.
I know, I love it.
So then,
I think my one would be Dragon Ball. Like I know there
yeah.
I know there are multiple different versions of Dragon Ball, but I feel as though me as a person, a lot of the times if I want to get into a brand, I will go all in. Like
Yeah.
whether or not I love it or just like it, I will go all in. Like I'm not I like Star Wars, but I don't love it. But
Yeah.
I've went all in. I've watched Clone Wars, I've watched Rebels, I've watched The Mandalorian, and of course all the movies. But I feel as though with Dragon Ball, I feel as though I would feel very overwhelmed, and I feel as though it's just going to keep on coming. So
Yeah.
I feel as though I'd be a bit overwhelmed. Whereas an anime that has really interested me that I haven't actually started is actually Cowboy Bebop.
Fuck
Yeah,
yes.
we're still trying to watch that.
And I feel as though that would be the perfect length of episodes for me.
I think you will really enjoy Cowboy Bebop. It is really, really good in terms of lots of character development, music as well, which is also very important.
Yes.
But also just sort of the interwoven narratives between all the different characters and the environments they're in as well. I think you'll really enjoy it if you do manage to push through.
Yeah, like literally, like anything by Shinichiro Watanabe, like the music is gonna be absolutely stellar.
I'm
But
looking
yeah,
forward to
Cowboy Bebop, like it's like my dad's not into anime and he loves Cowboy Bebop.
It is something that a lot of people do get into, even if they're not sort of familiar with the medium.
It's really simple to get into as well, because a lot of it is episodic and self-contained and has very different styles and music choices, so there's a lot of variety in that 20 episodes as well, or 24 episodes.
You see, that really does appeal to me because I love stories like that. Like I know now a lot of things are very serialized, kind of like Game of Thrones, but I really love stories where it's kind of like an adventure of the week type story. Like I love that about Doctor Who, and I love that about the Mandalorian as well. Like it's kind of, although there's an overarching story, I love the fact that it's kind of a self-contained Western. And each episode is a new adventure, and I love that about The Mandalorian, and I think from what I've heard about Cowboy Bebop, I think that's very transferable, and I'm really looking forward to giving it a watch.
Yeah,
I really like that about One Punch Man as well.
Oh my god, One Punch Man!
Monster of the Week as well.
Yes!
That's another one I want to get into.
So
Okay,
good.
when it comes to One Punch Man, season 1 One Punch Man, not season 2.
Honestly, I still enjoyed season 2.
Like season
Not as
2,
good as season 1, and it missing the fact that it had a different OP was very saddening to me, because the original OP is just one of my favorite anime soundtracks of all time.
It's
absolutely.
so good.
like as soon as as soon as it came out that Madhouse wasn't doing season 2 and it's going to be a different team from TMS, I was like, oh my god, like I was so worried. But I think the only thing that made me keep watching One Punch Man was the fact that the story was good.
Yeah.
And if the story wasn't good, with the dip in animation quality, I don't think I would have watched it had it not been for the story by
Yeah,
one.
that's fair. That's entirely fair.
I just love the main character. I can't pronounce his name and I can't remember it, and I feel really bad. Saitama, that's it. I love him. He's just so...
Oh, I love Moomin Rider. What a Chad.
He's the bestest boy. I was really sad because I thought he died at one point. I was like, no! Like, I was more upset about him dying than possibly anyone else.
Like, literally, after everything we saw after the Seeking episode, and then after everything Saitama went through, and the fact that Moomin Rider just buys him a bowl of ramen, you're like, oh my god, this is so wholesome.
Yeah, he's just such a good boy.
I might need to shoot off about 1:30, but before that, actually, if you get the chance to, I don't know if anyone has here seen it, I'm pretty sure Dylan, you would have, but if you can watch Bacano, that's also very good.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, I'll give that a try.
Another sort of bebop-esque jazz influence, but the story is really, really good. Like, multiple different characters coming in from completely different perspectives, all towards getting one thing.
And it's only 10 episodes as well.
It's
Cool.
very short.
We like the short things.
So it's about people on a train, and there's a heist that goes on.
Ooh, train heist.
Cool. Train heist, and it delves into a lot of supernatural alchemy and
Immortals, all sorts of shenanigans go down.
Ooh, speaking of alchemy, Full Metal Alchemist.
Of course.
Oh god, yes. Brotherhood or OG?
I've been watching Brotherhood. Well, I was watching Brotherhood a while back when my brother was over. Haha. But no, I felt bad not watching it when he stopped watching it with me, so I was like, I'm gonna keep that, and that can be the thing we watch when he comes over. And then obviously pandemic hit, and I was like, oh, this could be a problem.
Did anyone watch both series, the OG and Brotherhood?
I did actually. I did unwittingly. I didn't realize there were two different series. I thought originally I watched OG, and then I was like, "Oh, Brotherhood, is this a continuation?" I'm like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah.
So is Brotherhood like the condensed version of it?
No, actually, Brotherhood is the actual version because
Okay.
OG,
Adaptation.
it is the literal adaptation of the manga, whereas the original Full Metal Alchemist came out before the manga was finished, so it deviated heavily from the original story.
Oh,
Exact same
gotcha.
situation as Helsing and Helsing Ultimate.
Exactly, yeah. And
Yeah.
interestingly
Also,
enough,
if they ever readapt it, Game of Thrones, funnily enough.
but yeah, I finished watching FMA before Brotherhood was even announced, and then I watched Brotherhood and I was like, oh my god, this is so much better. Oh, it just makes me realize just how much fucking anime I've watched in my life. It's kind of depressing sometimes. But okay, Anya, before you have to go, I am curious, what is the first anime you remember watching?
Ooh. Actually, so there's two ways I consider this. So I'm gonna start with the one when when you're very young and you're not aware you're watching anime. You're not aware. You're just watching something that you see on TV. I was heavily invested in watching Cardcaptor Sakura and
Yes.
and
Card
Sailor-
captors.
and Sailor Moon. Both of those were very defining when I was 5 years old. I loved it.
Sailor Moon's epic.
Yes.
I'm
Then-
sad I missed out on Sailor Moon.
Oh, it's never too late.
I
It's
know,
all
I'm gonna just go back and watch it. Like, I'm the same with Buffy. I'm only recently started watching that
Yeah.
now, so.
And is again never too late to get into these. Just because you miss
Yes.
something, that's one important thing. Never feel FOMO for missing out on animes airing, because they're always going to be around, and you'll always be able to bring it up, and people will be like, "Wow, I remember that. I was watching that. I loved it," and then sparking that sort of discussion and that love for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I watched Ninja Scroll when I was really young, and I think me and Anya had a nice conversation after uni lecture.
I don't like that. It's sex. So no, when I was very young, obviously watching Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, and then when I was 15 years old, I was wittingly going to go, okay, I'll try watching some anime, like sort of delving into the genre and seeing what I liked. I dived first in with Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh my god, right into the deep
That's
end.
I really loved
that's
it.
hard.
Well, I resonated a lot with it because it was, you got like teenagers dealing with sort of depression and family issues and whatnot. I'm like, wow, this is just like me.
Oh my.
And because I resonated with it, I really, really was invested. I loved the story, I loved the music, the narrative. It was great, and I did enjoy the experimental sort of endings it had. And then from there, branching out from Evangelion, I was watching like Madoka Magica. And,
Wow, you just dived headfirst right into the deconstructionist anime, haven't you?
yeah, it's good though. It makes because it's the kind of anime that makes you actively participate in it. You're thinking about it whilst you're watching, because with the end of Evangelion, you've got a lot of meta narratives and sort of discussing how the characters feel in a visualized manner, and you're working and processing that. You're actively having to engage with it rather than being just a passive participant.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so
Nice.
part 4, assumedly coming out next year. Are you excited, considering we've waited 8 years for it?
Oh, for the fourth Evangelion film?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I don't know if it's going to come out, honestly. That's
I know, like, I feel like it's like the Winds of Winter. I reckon Ando hasn't actually made it and he's just trolling us.
Yeah, that's
Possible.
I don't know if it's actually going to happen, honestly. It'd be nice if it did. But,
Yeah. So how do you
although-
feel about the films, actually, seeing as we're on Evangelion?
So the films are odd because they are kind of a reboot, but kind of an alternate timeline. It's very strange. There's a lot
Yeah.
of things that transferred over from the end of the show as well, because Asuka has the eye patch from the get-go. It's odd, but they're not terrible. Although
Yeah.
I will, if you are interested in getting into Evangelion, you can just watch Evangelion Death and Rebirth, which is a movie recap version of the show. So if you do want to just catch up in like 2 hours, there you go.
Cool.
Sweet.
Was that question to all of us or specifically just Anya?
I mean,
Oh,
if you-
to
I mean,
everyone.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
because Anya had to go first, I wanted
That's
her to
fair.
answer first.
if you have seen the Evangelion films, you're more than welcome to dive in on that question, obviously.
I think the first anime I watched was probably Dragon Ball Z, to be honest.
Okay,
And,
consciously or unconsciously?
That one's unconsciously. Like, I didn't realize it was an anime. It was just a show.
I like how we'd have to differentiate the unconscious watching and then the conscious. I know I'm now watching and experiencing.
Yeah,
this.
because I feel like a switch does need to be set when you are making that choice, because
Okay.
like it's like you said, Anya, like there was a point in time where we watched without really recognizing that it was something else, and then us saying, right, this weird thing called anime, I'm gonna go for it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so consciously, when I was in college, they got us to watch Howl's Moving Castle, and that was my introduction to anime, and I watched that film, and I was just like, I fucking love that, I need more of that in my life. And I remember everybody else being like, that film was weird, and I'm like, no it wasn't, it was great. What are you talking about?
I love how
Isn't it based on an English novel?
I think so, I don't know.
I don't
But I just remember enjoying it and being like, okay, I need more anime in my life. And then I went and actively looked for it. And I think it was mostly Ghibli films after that. And then I think Death Note was the first like proper anime that I watched. Like by choice, on purpose.
Sweet.
Loosely based on the 1986 novel of the same name by British author Diana Wynne Jones.
Oh, cool.
I don't know what it is with Ghibli and their offshoots making adaptations of mid-50s English literature, because their offshoot, Studio Ponack, just did Mary and the Witch's Flower, and that was a 50s novel as well. I was like, oh, this is cool. So then.
Wild. Yeah, I can go next. I'm not sure which was first, but when I was a kid, I watched a lot of both the Pokemon and Digimon anime.
Yeah.
Good show. They're very good though. Still very well crafted.
Oh, I love Digimon.
Yeah,
Me
I
too.
still maintain that Digimon anime was better than the Pokemon anime.
I maintain that.
And
I
that
will
is a
fight
hill
anyone.
I will die on.
I will fight
Also-
anyone who says otherwise.
Yeah, someone got mad at me because I put Digimon as my like background screen on my Mac when I was in college, and they were like, "Who's got Digimon up?" And I'm like, "Me." And they were like, "Pokemon's better." I'm like, "Do you know what? I like both of them, so shut up." And then they were like, "Ah," and I was like, "You can't argue with me. I like both of them."
You should have just been like,
You're wrong.
Who's the loser trying to start a fight in college over whether Digimon or
know.
Pokemon is better?
Pokemon's for pussies, bro. Now they're both cool in their own ways. Like I was into Pokemon as well. Like, but as far as shows go, I was far more into Digimon, while I was more into the Pokemon movies.
Oh
I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
that.
for sure.
I completely
Although,
agree.
like, I mean, it's like kind of different because I do think the Digimon movie is better than. I don't know. The first Pokemon movie might be better.
Oh, the one by
but,
Mamoru Hosoda. Oh yeah, I know which one you mean. Yeah, because they had the rebooted ones as well recently. So,
oh right.
but
Yeah, no, I mean,
the
like,
original 2002 one, I
first
think.
one. Yeah. God, I
Yeah,
still remember like getting promo Pokemon cards for that back when we were like properly into the Pokemon TCG. God, there's a lot of memories around that. But I think besides that, I think I probably prefer the Digimon movie over any of the other ones. Because I do have a lot of nostalgia for the Digimon movie as well.
yeah, absolutely. When they go into the cyberspace to be with the Digimon, it's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, just feels.
Also, one of the very few people who doesn't think of Shrek when they hear All Star, and that's because it's in the final battle of the Digimon
Oh
movie
god, yeah.
as well. So it always makes me think of that as opposed to Shrek.
I'd completely forgotten about that because I have seen that movie, but it's been so long and I just did not remember that.
It's on YouTube. You can just watch it on YouTube.
That's going on my
It's
watch
still
list.
very enjoyable. I honestly don't remember what the first anime that I actively went to watch anime was. It may well have been Bleach though. I'm talking back in high school, not just when I
Yeah.
watched it with Amy quite recently, but it may well have been Bleach because I had a couple of friends in secondary school who were really big into Bleach. So it may have been that.
Cool.
Sweet. Yeah, so the very first one I recently found out was when I was like 4 or 5. I was actually watching Anpanman when I was like 5 years old in the sticks of Sri
Oh.
Lanka in broadcast TV, and I had no idea. And then I went to Digimon, Pokemon, and I watched Ninja Scroll before I found out that was an anime, which was an interesting experience. Yeah. Necrophilia, decapitations, child murder, and I was like 9 years old thinking this is kind of hardcore for a cartoon. And then actively, it was one of the big three. Naruto was first, then Bleach, and then One Piece was already at like 500 episodes. I was like, nah, I'm good, thanks.
I remember when you were like, "Let's go watch One Piece," and I was like, "I've never seen an episode. Like, am I going to be able to follow this film?" And you were like, "Yeah, it's fine."
David?
So, like Ryan, I would probably say the Pokemon was my main introduction into anime, but I do recall seeing like glimpses of Dragon Ball and Digimon. I do remember being a fan of Digimon, but I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because of the games as well, but I just got more invested in Pokemon, and it kind of stayed with me a lot longer. And I just found myself every time that there was a new season of Pokemon, I would watch that, and it was very unconscious. However, I do recall watching a series called Shaman King.
Oh,
I don't-
yes.
And the Shaman King. That was
Oh.
very good.
Holy
I-
shit,
I
it's
very
been quite a
enjoyable.
while.
I remember watching that very obsessively when I think I was about 8 or 9, and I just got really invested in it. I don't think I ever actually finished it, but I remember loving it when I was watching it. So I recognized that it was a similar style of animation to Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh. So I can't. It was, while it may not be completely a conscious effort on my part, I did recognize the similarities between Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon. So
Yeah.
I would say that it's a mix.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Cool.
On that
I
note,
never watched too much of Shaman King, but I remember I had like a Jetix DVD that had episodes
Oh my
of
God,
Shaman
Jetix.
King, Sonic X, and I think Beyblade. I think I had
Oh
an episode
my
of
God,
Oh my
Beyblade.
god, Beyblade.
I
Novel-
watched that DVD so many times.
I love Beyblade.
Beyblade is another one that I watched a lot of.
Yeah, my brother got into it, and I ended up like my mum would be like, "Oh, go and sit and watch your brother for a bit," and I'd be like, "Okay," and then we'd just sit there and watch Beyblade together. It was great.
On that note, Anya, I know you said half past, so
To take my leave, but thank you for having me on as a guest. And
of course we would love to have you again sometime if you so
Yes.
desire.
Having
We miss you.
oh my god, I miss everyone. I feel very, very hermit-like.
Oh, I think we all
Don't we
do.
all?
Yeah.
Very much so. I would,
Yeah.
I need to see everyone again, but unfortunately, we are currently living through literal history. So
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
true.
true.
take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Okay, well, love you all lots, and I'll hopefully speak to you again, and hopefully be able to see you all when the time comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. In person, hopefully. So
Okay,
Fingers
take care,
crossed.
Anya.
don't forget,
You
watch
too,
Cowboy
Anya.
Bebop and Bacano.
We
Both
will.
of them.
Of absolutely.
I think you'll love them. Right, I'll see you all.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
See you later.
And then there were 4. Right.
Yeah.
On that note, quick bathroom break. So I shall be back momentarily.
Bye-bye.
Let's- back in a sec.
Okay.
I remember.
I was going to say, am I all alone, or is David staying with me? Yay!
Yeah. I remember when I was watching Shaman King. This could be a figment of my imagination for all I know, but I remember there being a vampire episode, and I was so caught off guard by it. But at the same time, I was just thinking to myself, "This is awesome."
I'm trying to remember if I ever watched Shaman King, because it rings a bell.
I loved the whole concept of it. I just the idea of like this. I want to say a ghost kind of looking after you, the spirit,
Oh,
shaman
yeah.
looking after you and fighting beside you and giving you advice. I loved that whole concept. And I really liked the animation involved as well. I'd be interested to watch it again because I really did love it when I was watching it on Jetix, I think it was.
Oh my god, I just feel old. Like,
Same here.
like I remember I think it was Fox Kids first, and then it turned into Jetix, and I'm like, I didn't really get why it changed the name, but obviously I think it's because the company was bought out or something.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I ever watched it, but it sounds really cool, and I'm like interested, so I probably will go and watch it at some point.
Very nice. I
Yeah.
just plot and it reads the plot of Shaman King revolves around Asakura, a shaman, a medium between the worlds of the living and the dead. Yo seeks
Just making
to
a drink too, real quick.
Okay.
seeks to become the Shaman King, the one who is able to contact the Great Spirit and will gain the ability to reshape the world in any way they wish, and for this purpose he must win the Shaman fight, a battle held once every 500 years between competing shamans.
Well,
and
I'm sold. I'm watching it.
Sounds like my Monday morning.
Ryan's just getting a drink.
Sweet. Oh, David, if you are into Shaman King, check out Bucky.
Will do.
It's on Netflix.
Oh,
I have returned.
Hello.
How dare you?
Hey, if you didn't want me back, you should have just kicked me out the call while I was gone. I would have got the message.
I still could.
Valid point. Valid point.
Righto then.
Good.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
okay, so I was just going to say, from this point, I was just thinking we could just talk about anime in general, whichever one comes to our head first, and if anyone has seen it, we'll talk about it. If not, we'll just say, yeah, it's good, and just swiftly move on till we find something that people have seen.
Okay.
Baki is now on my watch list, Dylan.
Baki, fantastic. It's ridiculous. You'll love it.
Awesome. I'll also put Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, hell
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. You should watch that. It's good. And I should finish it.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, One Punch Man, I think is on Netflix. Violet Evergarden. There's a lot, dude. There's a
I think
ton.
I think only season 1 of One Punch Man's on Netflix.
This is the only season you need.
Oh, also, like, end up liking One Punch Man, you should watch My Hero Academia because it's very similar.
Oh yeah, Hiroaka, yeah. I haven't seen season 4 yet, but my god, the
No,
ending
me
of season 3
Right.
was just phenomenal.
It was pretty epic.
Like when I heard All Might just go United States or Smash, I'm pretty sure I orgasmed.
Just anytime he says United States of anything, I just break down laughing because it's hilarious.
And it's just
And also, I went through a period of just going, I am here, whenever I entered a room.
like literally the sheer amount of charisma All Might has is just stellar.
Oh, no. It's so good.
And it's like it's got a great supporting cast as well. That's the best part. Like
Yeah.
everyone gets
Oh,
their
I-
due.
I love Ida. Also, we saw him at Comic-Con, and literally the voice actor, well, the
Oh, J.
English
Michael
voice
Tatum.
actor looks exactly like Ida.
Yeah, J. Michael
true.
Tatum is pretty epic.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, another funny story happened at Comic Con. I asked to get a picture with one of them, and literally in the background, they were dressed as like My Hero Academia characters, and literally I just heard in the background my boyfriend just broke up with me. So this poor girl is in the
Oh,
background crying because her boyfriend just broke up with her, and I'm like, I feel really awkward and bad now.
Yeah, that was an
That's-
experience.
Super awkward. Like, oh, what have I done?
oh wow! Like who would have thought
It's the
asking for a
saddest thing.
selfie had so much consequences?
I know.
Comic Con stories for you.
I did want to ask a question before. This was like an hour ago, but hell, I want to bring it back.
Okay.
It was inspired by the Death Note Scream clip,
Oh.
which made me think of the. It first made me think of the Devil May Cry Scream. I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light. And it just made me think, what's everyone's favorite bit of bad voice acting in
Oh.
anime?
Oh, in anime, damn.
Yeah, in anime specifically, because it's an anime episode, isn't it?
This is true. Because if it was games, I would automatically go to the laughing scene in Final Fantasy X.
Oh, come on, everyone would have gone for that.
I actually did prepare a YouTube link which we could pop on the watch together if the
Oh.
host is willing.
Oh, how dare you prepare yourself?
I know, like I said, it was like an hour and 20 minutes ago that I was thinking about it, so I was like, all right, I got time.
Okay, in that case, what I will do, if you could just send the link on
Yeah.
Discord, I'll copy and paste it. And
Yep,
oh my
right
god, you're fast. Oh my god, the
it's
Singapore dub.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
What the hell?
The Yu-Gi-Oh! Singapore dub.
Oh, okay.
It is infamous, and it's been very difficult for people to dig up, but it is really something. Not necessarily because the voice acting is bad, but because the voice direction goes in an interesting direction, I suppose I should say.
Okay.
I won't elaborate until we watch it because I don't want to spoil the surprise.
Okay.
Okay, so like, not gonna lie, my PC is running at full capacity, and I'm pretty sure all of you sounded like demonic monsters for the past 5 seconds.
Oh no, that sounds fantastic. I love it.
Boogie.
Okay, so I'm gonna send the watch together link on the
Okay.
chat.
Wunderbar.
Okie dokie.
Oh, more people sounded like demons. It's great. Right, I'm just going to add the
One more.
screen again.
Who's
Dude.
not in here?
Sorry? Oh,
Who's not in here? 'Cause there's 3 people in the watch together.
David.
I'm in.
Oh, Amy!
Oh, there we go. I'm
There
in.
we go.
Okay.
Yeah,
So Amy was
me.
the slow one.
Oh,
I was not the slow one. I was in.
Slow one. I was the slow
Oh,
one.
okay.
Bitch.
no, David,
I will fight.
David, never admit to anything if you can help it.
I am.
Okay, so we have yet another watch along. 2 in 1 episode. So
Ooh.
I shall click play now.
Looking good, dude. Are you sure? You sure it's not too much? Looks like too little to me, dude.
Okay, I'm just gonna pause for copyright just in case. But my god, that's actually kind of
Yeah.
fascinating.
That's
Yeah,
terrible.
the voice direction on it is just. Where did they go with that? Like, how did they go in that direction with it?
Yeah, like, isn't he supposed to be like an ominous, like, look at me, I'm a god. You listen
Yeah.
to what I say.
Pretty
Booming
much.
voice. Inside
Yeah.
here.
Just Dan Green with a very very post puberty voice,
Exactly.
and yeah, in this he's a surfer dude,
He's just like, looking good, dude.
and nobody
God.
quite knows why.
I've just
But-
like reminded myself of looking good Joker in Persona 5, and now I'm like, I remember
good,
that
Joker.
I want to kill the cat.
Oh, Persona 5, man, what a game.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there.
Wonderful, wonderful thing.
Oh. Has anyone
I
played
can't
Persona
think
Royal,
of
by
any.
the way?
I watched Ryan play it.
Yep.
I've seen the story, and I do plan to play it at some point. It's
Good.
good.
I still do think I'm not that big a fan of the sort of extra arc of Royal or the extra palace. 'Cause
I
feel
haven't
like-
come to the extra palace yet. I'm only like
okay.
40 hours in. Only.
Yeah, that sounds like Persona.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. I won't say any more then.
that's cool. I think.
But like
Oh, go on.
the extra like additions going through the story are really good. Like I feel like Kasumi's really well integrated into the story. It doesn't feel like she was just thrown in last minute kind of thing, or thrown into an extra version of it, which she literally was. So she does feel very much integrated into it.
Yeah, and also I feel like there's a lot of gameplay changes that is very convenient because in the original, like, there's no way for you to replenish your SP unless you prepared beforehand, whereas now you can do that. And I'm like, oh, this makes dungeon crawling so much easier.
Yeah, for sure. The
that makes
quality
me
of life
happy.
changes. Yeah, the quality of life changes in it are really, really good.
And plus, they made mementos interesting. I'm like, thank
I know.
God.
That's also very good because that was the thing. That was the part where I was like, I give up. I hate this bit. And also, I hate
Entirely
the
good.
tune. It's just so bland. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just like, why? Because
Like
the
a
rest of the
three-note
music's
bass
so good, and then you get to Mementos and you're like, what is this?
This is
This
where
is
you
not
come to
jiggy at
die.
all. I cannot get down to this.
But it's really cool, Persona 5, because it's got so much personality. Like, even the main menus got more personality than you could hope to achieve, you know?
Oh,
Like, it's such a cool
I
game.
love the pause menu because it's just like, whoosh, and you're just like, oh, it's just so good.
Because
Absolutely.
the interface has so much more style and so much more character to it than many entire games. And the fact
Absolutely.
that they achieved that is just fantastic.
I've turned this into a Persona 5 a simp session, haven't I?
Persona 5's just that good of a game. Oh, did anyone
It
watch
is
the
very
Persona 5 anime?
No,
I
haven't
did
seen
not.
it.
It's one of those that keep meaning to get around to it, but I just never do because I'm bad at watching things.
And yet you're on a stream that's called
Yeah.
What We Watch.
Yeah.
Oh no. But yeah, from like because I already played the game by this point, like I really had no interest in watching a summarized version, and beyond that an inferior summarized version, so I was like, yeah, screw that.
That's fair. I did watch the Persona 3 animated films.
Oh, how were they?
There was like 4 of them, I think. So it's like an 8-hour thing that I just binged in one night.
Oh
They're pretty
Jesus.
solid. I did like the way they like adapted the fight and that. It's not as good as the game, obviously, but Persona 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, it was definitely solid. Definitely worth a watch if you've played Persona 3 and enjoyed the story.
Cool. Yeah, because that's always something that's really hard to nail. How you're going to do the fighting from a Persona game in an adaptation? You know, like that's always
Yeah.
going to be really hard to nail down.
Yeah, adapting a turn-based fight into an anime is always going to be kind of difficult.
Yeah. Unless you're Final Fantasy Advent Children, in which case, do whatever you want.
Yeah, just forget
Yeah.
about it being turn-based.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's weird how Final Fantasy Advent Children is Final Fantasy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But oh my god, like Advent Children was so fun though.
It was.
I vaguely remember it.
I remember it well, and I don't know. I'm very conflicted about Advent Children. I'll just put it that way. There's a lot of things I like about it, a lot of things I really don't like about it.
Yeah, that's understandable, especially if you're a huge fan of 7, the base game. I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, I suppose I just really enjoyed the hyperkinetic action set pieces more than anything else. Like, it was a visual treat, and I really enjoyed it. And that's kind of the main reason why. As far as the story goes, I'm like, yeah, you kind of limp on the story at best, but
Yeah.
holding my attention. So good on you.
Yeah, the action was solid.
Right, I'm trying to think of bad voice acting, and all I can think of is remember that time we watched a YouTube video where somebody redid voice acting for
Yeah,
scenes?
Sea Dog.
Sea Dog, my god. I love Sea Dog.
Yeah. He's got a
Those
lot
is-
of good examples.
Yeah, there was a Sailor Moon example where I think it was like this guy in a mask and his voice acting wasn't very good.
Yeah, Tuxedo Mask.
Tuxedo Mask, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the only one that's coming to mind.
Okay, so my example would be an anime from this year actually called Tamayomi, which is
Oh, okay.
a girls' baseball team anime, and it was like words kind of describe how shockingly bad that series was. Like episode 4
Oh no.
was literally broken. Like character models are warped. Like
Oh no.
literally, it was like a PowerPoint presentation with voice actors not giving a shit. I was flabbergasted at the quality of this anime. It's just, yeah. Well, I was excited as well because there's not a lot of female-oriented sports anime.
Oh, I know. It all
And-
seems to be like male dominated, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you know what? It's actually really cool because now we've got Hanebado, which is a badminton anime, and we've got the rock climbing girls one this season, so we're getting a bit more variety.
Rock climbing one. Huh.
There's a
Yeah.
rock climbing one. That sounds cool. I want to watch that.
It's been on my watch list, but I haven't started it yet because, you know, scheduling. But
Yeah.
there's a rock climbing anime which is centered solely around girls, and I'm like, oh fuck
Ooh.
yeah.
It's interesting.
Well, Since we're talking about sports anime, like after David's had his turn of bad voice acting, if you can think of anything, yeah, I think we should talk about sports anime.
Oh yes.
I'm down.
Sports anime, Jesus, like there are so many varieties of sports anime. Like you can have the epic showdowns of Kuroko, and you can have the emotional showdowns of Haikyuu, and you can just be like, what the fuck's happening?
See, I felt like Haikyuu, when I first started watching it, it felt like it was a kind of trying to be Kuroko, but with netball.
Okay, so interesting. The authors of Kuroko and Haikyuu, they know each other and have helped each other on each other's manga, funny enough.
That would be why.
But
Okay, I will let it off then. Since they're influencing each other, that makes sense why a lot of story beats would be the same.
But yeah, I think if I remember correctly, the author of Kuroko helped with the body proportions of the teenagers in Haikyuu, and Haikyuu helped with the like movement and the physical exertion side of things, you know, like sweat movement and stuff like that.
That's actually really cool.
So if I remember correctly, that's what they helped themselves with. But yeah.
Then I think I'll definitely go back to Haikyuu, because at first that's why I kind of got put off it a little bit. I was like, this is basically Kuroko but with a different sport.
Honestly, like it's so different from Kuroko, because by the time Kuroko ends, it's basically like superhumans playing basketball, whereas Haikyuu, it's still very rooted in reality, and it's basically based on okay, there's a tactic. How do we? It's like playing chess, whereas Kuroko is like, you know, full on boxing.
Yeah.
I love like the explanations of the abilities that they have in Kuroko. You know, like Kuroko is like literally explained as basically a magician who's using, you know, misdirection and sleight of hand and that kind of thing.
And isn't Midorima, isn't he like a sniper or something like that? It's ridiculous.
That's what I found funny. They're still towards the end. They're still just like, but we couldn't do anything against the NBA players. And there's Midorima literally shooting from the opposite side of the court.
It's like,
literally behind the other backboard and never missing. It's like, come on, what's the NBA like in the Kuroko verse? Because that's what I want to see.
Oh my god, it's like, could you imagine LeBron James just kind of dunking from one side of the court to the other? It's just like, what the hell? And then Steve Nash just kind of doing no-look passes left and right.
I'm not sure if David's actually trying to talk and it's not coming through, because I keep seeing his bubble-like flash, but not hearing anything.
Oh shit, David.
It's okay. I've just been listening to you guys because I completely recognise that I'm kind of out of my depth. Like I'm into anime and I've seen some series and a bunch of Studio Ghibli films, but I understand that you guys are way more well versed than I am. So I'm just listening.
That's fine. I just wanted to double check because I wasn't sure if you were trying to speak and there was just nothing coming through. So I was like, is he trying to talk and it's not picking up? So I thought I'd just check.
No, it's okay. Thank you though.
I think we did. I think we did accidentally skip over it though. Did you have any examples of awful voice acting that you wanted to share with the class, or?
Teacher is waiting.
It doesn't have to be an anime. Like if you do have, like, if you can't think of any an anime, but you've got like ones from, I don't know, games or anything like that,
or even a Western cartoon from back in the day or now, even anything will do.
You know what? I think I'll have to give that one some thought.
Okay.
Because I was thinking strictly anime. And
it was originally anime, but I think it was just like something that like I've been into a lot, largely because of Sea Dog. That was just like I didn't think about how limited other people's examples might be, so that was kind of my bad.
No, it's okay, mate. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll give it some thought, and maybe we can reconvene, and I'll be able to say.
Yeah, I mean, if you come up with any while we're talking bullshit about sports anime, just say, everyone shut the fuck up, I've thought of one.
Yeah, absolutely. Just in those exact same words, by the way.
Yep.
With that much venom as well. Any lesson, I'll be disappointed.
I think I'll just say excuse me if that's okay.
No, you gotta say fuck
It
you.
is not.
Fuck all y'all, here's my example.
Yeah, one sports anime that I have not watched and been meaning to is Slam Dunk. Because obviously, with being a big fan of Kuroko, everyone says you should watch Slam Dunk.
Yeah,
And
same goes for
it's
me
just
actually.
not gotten around to it.
Yeah, I've not seen that one.
Gotcha.
Because I remember hearing about Slam Dunk all the way back in like mid 2000s, and I was like, I'm gonna watch that one day. 15 years later, I'm gonna watch that one day.
Yeah, I feel like that
So-
with most things.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, and there's so much anime coming out these days as well, and there's so much variety. It's like, okay, like
Yeah.
a season's gotta be really fucking shit for me to go back and watch something old, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's so much, like, it's hard to keep up with.
Like, let's be honest, Attack on Titan final season starting in Christmas, and I'm so ready for it.
I need to try and get back into that. I mean, I think partly why I got put off it is my ex introduced me to it, and then we very quickly broke up, and it just kind of reminds me of him, and it's just like, I don't like being reminded of that.
Imagine he's one of the Titans being sliced up.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
That's a good point. I could try that.
Okay, yeah, Slam Dunk. One of those anime that's always been on the list, but whether it'll be watched or not is very debatable.
There's a
It's on the
boxing
watch list
one
before
that-
down.
There's a
Ha-
boxing one that I want to try. What?
Hajime no Ippo.
That's the
That's
one, yeah. I've seen it pop up on a load of like, you should watch this if you like
Yeah,
sports anime.
there's
I'm
two
like,
series
I make a bit of
actually. There's a 90s and then a sequel by Madhouse in the mid teens, I think. So yeah,
Cool. Also, I
There's a
think we
lot.
looked it up, and there is a snooker anime.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look,
Because I remember we were playing pool, and you were like, I wonder if there's an anime that's around pool.
if there's a sport, there's an anime.
yeah, pretty
Good
much,
point.
pretty much.
Did anyone watch Ace of Diamonds or Diamond No Ace?
No.
I know it's not a poker anime. It sounds like it.
It's actually baseball anime.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I might have actually heard of it. Now that I think about it, I think I might have actually heard of it, but it just kind of disappeared out of my brain.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's worth forgetting, to be honest. Like, it started off
Is it not
strong.
that good?
Like, it started off strong, but then by the time it got to episode 50, it was like, okay, it's the same tropes over and over again. There's no character growth, there's no progression, and then very little story development. And I'm like, oh, fuck this show. And then I just moved on.
That's fair.
Oh, David,
I can't think of any more sports anime, so.
I was just gonna quickly say, David, watch Demon Slayer.
Oh, yeah.
Just
I
gonna
watched
say
the
that.
first episode a while back, and it's so good. Like, you should watch it. It's very good.
Oh my god, like, episode 19 is just one of the best episodes of TV I've seen in a while.
No,
It's
just.
fucking
I
amazing.
watched the first episode and I was like, this make me sad. I'll come back to it at some point.
Yeah,
And then I just forgot about it.
so good. Ufotable man, like, just yes. Other sports anime though, have you guys seen Hanebado, the badminton anime with girls?
No, but I want to watch it.
No, I've heard the name again, but not gotten around to watching it.
It's
I'll
actually
give it a go.
it's actually shockingly like emotional. Like
Oh.
the girls in it are like kind of deranged, like borderline psychotic.
I
like-
like it already.
It's
I'm
mad.
in.
But yeah, it's only 12 episodes as well.
Well, that's
Um,
not too bad then.
There's Welcome to the Ballroom.
Ooh.
It's about ballroom dancing, if you didn't gather.
Yeah,
Um,
makes sense.
Yeah, it's 25 episodes on Amazon Prime. Very cool. Literally about a guy learning how to dance, and it's riveting.
That's kind of cool. Oh, there's Yuri on Ice as well that I've watched.
Yuri on Ice, that's another one, yeah.
Yeah,
I-
I watched iPatch's video on that and I was like, I may give this a go.
I haven't
Looks
watched it yet.
alright.
It's been on again, another one that's been on the ever-growing list.
Yeah.
I love like when anime that very much, and this kind of harkens back to Kuroko in a large way, but anime that is very much not about fighting, but
Yeah.
uses like the tropes and that
Yeah.
from like shonen battle anime and that. Like I
Yeah.
say, Kuroko literally turns into, superpowered kids doing shonen battle fights, but on a basketball court.
Yeah.
And there was one, God, I can't remember the something. Love is War.
Love is War,
one
yeah.
that me
Kaguya-sama
and
Love is
Amy-
War.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Kaguya-sama.
just Love as well.
and we watched like a few episodes of. And I was enjoying that, but never got around to watching the rest of
Yeah,
it.
we
Season
should-
2
we
is
should
even
finish
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Season
it's
2 is
like
so
when we
good.
started watching My Roommate as a Cat, and we just kind of forgot to carry on with
Oh,
that.
that is so wholesome by the end of
It's
it.
such a cute
The most-
anime, and I love the intro. Like I have the intro as my alarm tone.
But yeah, the ending
just
is
makes me
so
happy.
heartfelt. You love it.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm excited.
Okay, so just so that David can be a part of the conversation again.
Sorry, dude.
Right,
It's okay.
live action anime adaptations. Let's have a
Ooh.
quick go on them because there are a few. So
I don't think I've seen that many. I think I've only seen the Death Note one, and I've heard about the Bleach one, but I've not seen it.
yeah, I've heard the Bleach one is actually
It's not bad.
actually surprisingly decent.
Yeah, I heard that one was good.
it's got pacing issues and story issues, but for the most part, as far as the live action
does Bleach.
adaptation goes, Bleach is probably one of the more solid ones.
I haven't seen Ghost in Shell, but I've heard the problems with that, and I kind of get why.
It's very much a westernized version of the story with little to none of the philosophical elements of the first original one by Mamoru Oshii.
Mhm.
So David,
I have
what?
not watched the original, but I concur that there's not much depth in the Ghost in the Shell film.
So basically, they just straight up whitewashed it then.
It's not even whitewashing because like the casting, for the most part, you've got like Beat Takeshi playing the officer and stuff like that. You've got a
Okay.
good diverse cast. It's not even the whitewashing of it. It's just the adaptation of it. When I mean
see.
westernized, it's very much
Excuse
missing.
me.
It's very much missing the deep philosophical aspects of the original film. Where it's like
I see.
existence and consciousness and stuff like that. Whereas this, it turns it pretty much into man against machine.
I see.
So
Fair
that's
enough.
what I mean by westernized. It's more in terms of story structure and philosophy rather than actual casting and people in it.
I've got a
Yeah.
question though, Dylan. What did you think of the twist with Major?
Oh, with her having a Japanese brain.
Yeah.
Like I was, because I went to watch this with Anya as well. Like we were both perfectly all right with it. Considering it is an adaptation, I was all right with it, and it kind of made sense for the film itself rather than the core story of Ghost in the Shell. So I was all right with it. I can understand why people hate it, though. Don't get me wrong.
I remember watching it, and I was following the film along, and I'd heard the whole controversy surrounding the film, and it was one of those things where I was watching the film, and although there was nothing to say this is wrong in the film, up until the twist, I was still kind of thinking to myself, okay, this is weird that Scarlett Johansson is playing this character. And then you get to the twist, and I just kind of thought to myself, okay, well, apart from the idea of having a star, and like a big name star that can get Western audiences in, was there any reason to have Scarlett Johansson play
Oh.
character? It was just bizarre to have that twist in there at all. If
Yeah.
you
Yeah, I totally get what you mean, and
Like, was that just an attempt to justify why she was playing the role? It's like, look, she has a Japanese brain. Like, what the hell? That
like
just
in
seems
the
real
context
weird.
of the film, you can kind of get behind why it is the way it is.
Okay.
It just does a really piss poor way of executing it, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Because
I really was like, then why is Scarlett Johansson playing this character?
Yeah.
It just seemed a bit odd. It really does seem a bit odd to be like, this character's Japanese, but they're not played by a Japanese actor.
But it's like, if they left out the Japanese part altogether, like, I was down for Scarlett Johansson playing the Major. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, it's Scarlett Johansson.
I completely agree with you. If it wasn't for that twist, I would have been like, okay, I feel a little weird about it, but
Yeah, that just seems bizarre. Like the film, like the filmmakers were going out of the way to be like, she's Japanese, honest. Like, you're adapting it. Like, people do tend to be like, okay, it's an adaptation.
It was like, okay, don't be angry at us, but then at the same time, it's like, wait, you don't want us to be angry at you, but then you're still
Why
saying,
are you doing this?
Stop drawing attention to it then. For
Yeah,
God's
stop
sake.
digging yourself into a hole.
I mean,
Put the shovel down.
I'd probably have to rewatch it, because I only saw it the one time in the cinema with Anya, so I really can't speak to it from memory, so I'd have to watch it again to give you a concrete answer on it. But I remember thinking, okay, well, that was inferior, but I didn't hate it, so I'd have to watch it again to absolutely be sure on that assessment, though.
Fair
I
enough.
thought it was fine.
It
Just
was
fine.
It
Yeah,
exists, would you say?
it exists.
On a scale that constitutes Dragon Ball Evolution and Death Note.
It's
Those
better
two-
than those.
3.
Oh, speaking of, I know, David, we saw it together, but who has seen Alita Battle Angel?
I still haven't
have
seen
not.
it. I
I
still
wasn't
keep
gonna
meaning
ask.
to.
Oh, do you know what? As far as anime adaptations go from the West, best one.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. Again, it's just sitting on my watch list. I'll get to it eventually.
Do you know what? Like, the more time that passes, the more I enjoyed that film, in a weird way.
Oh,
Like, from a narrative perspective, it's not great. It's average at best. Pacing's all over the place, but Rosa Salazar as Alita is such a fucking darling. I'm like, I will love this film because of you.
Just brilliant.
cool. I will give that a watch at some point.
And plus-
I agree. Like, I don't know the source material all that well, but I remember Dylan saying going in that they have to nail Alita, otherwise the film will kind of fall apart. And I would agree with that statement, and I thought they did nail Alita herself, and I thought Rosa Salazar did a great job, and I love the world building. There were some fun action sequences, but when it came to the plot itself,
It kind of
think-
just
I
a
did
mess.
think it was narratively weak, and
Aw.
I felt as though they did a disservice to some members of the cast. Like, I felt so bad for Mahershala Ali.
Oh god,
Like,
yeah.
I felt he was so underused, and same with Jennifer Connelly as well. Now that I'm thinking about it, and
And
then
to a certain
also-
extent, even Christoph Waltz as well, because he's there for the first half and then he's just kind of missing for the rest of it.
very
Aw.
true. I did like him and his relationship with Alita in the film.
Cool.
However, alternatively, the relationship between
Her and
Alita
Hugo are just,
and her boyfriend.
it's fucking cringe.
It
Oh,
was
no.
so cringe. And I remember when some emotional moments were happening in the film, I just wanted to laugh.
I know. It was so fucking comical. But and it sucks as well because like in the original manga, that emotional moment was fucking tearjerker. The manga is so good. But yeah, like the thing with the Alita film is that they tried to adapt like 3 volumes of the manga into a single film to set up everything that's going to happen in the second half. Whereas if they kept to the first 2 volumes, it would have been perfect. An hour for the first volume, hour for the second volume, and you'd be grand. But they didn't. And I'm like, oh, you just spent so much time setting things up that you forgot to tell a story. But Alita herself worked, and I'm like, okay, do you know what? I'll take it, you know.
Oh, I forgot to mention Promare because while
Promare!
I was here, I was gonna
Fuck
bring it
yes!
because that was such a good film, and like because you're talking about romance scenes, the bit where she goes to kiss him and he just drops her.
I've got the Blu-ray. Oh my god, it is so good.
Like, there's just this scene where, like, you think, oh, they're gonna have a smoochy smooch, and he gets distracted at the last minute and drops her on the floor.
Oh, man. And because the same guys who did Promare are doing the Cyberpunk anime for the game, and I'm like,
cool.
oh, hells yes.
I'm excited.
But yeah, Promare is so good. And then we went to watch the what was the
One Piece movie?
No, not the
Or
One
is it
Piece
Konosuba?
movie. Danmachi. No, not
Konosuba.
Konosuba. That's it.
Yeah. I found the film ticket for it yesterday. It's being used as a bookmark in Mikey's room at the moment. I'm like, how did you get here? Okay.
It's like, it's Konosuba. You don't ask questions. It asks
just
you
gets
questions. Oh, Konosuba is so good.
Mikey was like, what's this? And I'm like, it's an anime. You can watch it when you're a bit older.
Absolutely, when he's older. Because my god, some of the women
Yeah.
in that show are just not good examples.
Not suitable. Also, the main character is a bit of a fuckboy.
Oh my god. Like, he tries.
I
He
know.
tries to
I
be.
just enjoy it any time he just gets called out on his shit, like he's drooling and he just gets slapped.
Oh my
or
God.
turned into a frog.
Like, that one time he was in bed with Megumin was just. And then the entire family's like, oh, it's their wedding night. And we're like, no, it's not. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
What? I'm sorry, I relate so much to, I can't remember her name, but the angry magic girl that just constantly wants to explode everything. I'm like,
Oh, Megumin.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, I feel you. I feel like that on a daily basis.
Oh, do you know what? Legit, no joke. There is an anime. There's an app called Isekai, and you can actually have Megumin as your fucking Siri or like Alexa.
Oh my god, please. and I just expect it to just constantly be like, explosion!
And it's got the actual voice actress in it as well, and I'm like, oh my god.
That's so cool. Oh.
Also, watch Konosuba. It's amazing.
It's very fun, but it's also not safe around children, so don't watch it with your kids.
I'll watch it anyway. Just it's fun. But
I thought all cartoons were good for kids.
this is true. You know, I mean, Hellsing Ultimate, absolutely something you'd show a
Yeah.
5-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh,
I
and
thought it might be just good night.
yeah, I mean, anything like Uroskodoji, which is like Legend of the Overfiend, absolutely, you know, or Ninja
Berserk.
Scroll.
Huh?
Oh, go on.
Berserk.
Oh, Berserk, yeah, totally.
Oh, Berserk.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
If you like Dungeons and Dragons, the best anime to watch would be Rising of the Shield Hero, because oh my god.
Oh, fuck yes. Fuck that red-haired bitch.
Oh, I know. I love how she gets, like, her name is literally changed to bitch.
Yes, and it's so satisfying.
Like, for anyone who doesn't want spoilers, I'm going to spoil. Basically, we are talking about a female character who blames the main character for raping her. And then, everyone believes her, and he basically gets no help from anybody and has to, like, work his way up from, like, level 1. So it's, like, very much like a stat system where the character has to level up.
And literally,
eventually she
the only
gets
thing the
found
guy
out.
can use is a shield.
Yeah. And the way he gets his level like experience is so clever. Like he literally just lures these little blob things in, and like just like they end up biting on his cloak, and he just like smashes them into the ground, and that's how he basically levels up.
Oh, but yeah, it's like, it's so satisfying because it does such a good job of writing characters that by the time he finally gets a win after 20 odd episodes, you're just kind
Yeah.
of like celebrating with him. It's like, thank fuck for that, you finally got a win, dude.
Yeah. And
Like,
also, when the woman who's been like scheming and trying to blame him for everything gets found out, it's so satisfying. And literally, everyone's like, "Your name is bitch now," and it's like, "Ha in your face," and you're just like so excited.
it kind of yeah, because like for 20 episodes she's just blamed everything on him and everyone believes him, and you're just kind of like, dude, I would not blame you if you turned evil.
Yeah. Also,
Oh.
in the English version, the voice actor who plays Joker in Persona 5, he plays the voice of the Spear Hero in Rising of the Shield.
Oh yeah, that's
Hero.
true.
And I was like, I did not notice. That was weird.
Yeah, also Spear Boy is hardcore simp, just in case. But
Oh.
yeah, it's like,
I
for
want to see
context.
hand them over to more things.
Okay, so David, for context, imagine the Shield Hero dude is essentially going through the Joker's worst day before turning into the Joker, but for like a year.
Yeah.
Got it.
And that's just it for a year. And he's just
Yeah.
enduring it.
And
Horrendous.
he's just like, well, this is my life now. And like, he gets like the worst weapon out of all of them, because obviously they have like different weapons. Like, I think there's an archer, there's a
There's a
the
mage,
spear.
and then there's the
There's a
spear.
mage, and then there's the shield hero. Like, out of all of them, he seems to be the most competent, and he's got a shield.
Nice.
And
Say that
also,
to Goofy.
Goofy is so
Oh.
much better than Donald, though. He never heals you.
Oh, that's Kingdom Hearts. I was actually thinking of the Goofy film.
Oh no, no. Well, in Kingdom Hearts, yeah, he's a knight in that, so he gets a shield.
Ah, okay.
And Donald's a mage, and like, if you leave Donald alone to heal you, he never does. He just wanders off, and you're just like, well, I guess I'll die then.
Typical bastard.
Yeah, stupid duck.
Oh, do you know what? Because we were talking about Dragon Ball, how many of you have watched the masterpiece that is Dragon Ball Evolution?
I've done my best to
yes.
avoid doing so.
I watched it with my ex a while back.
Fortunately, I have watched this.
Oh,
What?
it's awful.
A masterpiece.
It's truly something else.
It's an experience you will never forget.
It's
Unfortunately,
One might say.
it's scarred into my
That's what I
memory.
think of it.
Like, oh my god, like, it's like, I don't think you, like, I can't even say they tried to make it bad. Like, that's unintentional, and that's fascinating.
I don't remember it, so I'm glad. So I think I've managed to basically not remember any of the plot. I just know that it's a thing,
Oh, it's,
and I'm never watching it again.
There was plot.
do you know what? Oh, no, wait,
Maybe
there was a
there
plot?
wasn't. That's why I can't remember it.
I'm pretty sure there wasn't. I mean, it was basically Goku wanting to get into
all-
Chi-Chi's pants and just,
That
you know,
was the
yeah.
entire film.
it was
Yeah.
just, he learns the Kamehameha because she flirts with him. And I'm like, what?
What?
Oh.
I don't remember that, but oh my god.
Like, remember in the temple?
Do you know when you get a synopsis for a film as it's coming out, and
Yeah.
it'll tell you the grand plot and what the villain's doing, what the hero has to do to stop the villain? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's a side plot.
The main plot.
Oh no.
The main plot is between him and Chi-Chi. But, yeah, it is just, oh man. It's, yes, it exists.
Big fat fail.
Oh my god.
And then you have a character in the film that literally sounds that he himself has been overdubbed.
Oh, I think I know. I think I
It's,
remember that. Is
I-
it Piccolo in that?
no, what I was thinking of, Yamcha?
Yes.
I
yes.
can't remember. I haven't watched it in
It
so
is.
Yeah,
long.
it was Yamcha, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think he was overdubbed, actually.
I just remember like this big booming voice for no reason.
Yeah, it's like they actually did dub over quite a lot of the dialogue. That's why they don't sync up a lot of the time. It's actually mental.
It's actually pretty weird to think the cast that they got for that film as well.
Yeah, literally, I'm pretty sure half of Bulma's voice lines are dubbed. That's why it doesn't match or match any of the lips or the environment that she's in. It's actually weird.
Oh, that seems odd.
Imagine having an American movie with American actors and they managed to be badly dubbed in English.
I know, right? Do you know what? It would have been so much. I reckon Dragon Ball
Oh, yeah,
Evolution
that's
would be so much better as a subbed show. Just putting it out there.
I'd be interested to see that.
Because it's the age-old thing, isn't it? Like, oh, it sucks because it's dubbed. So maybe that's the thing. Maybe we just need to dub it in Japanese and put subs in. Maybe that's the trick.
You've got Chow Yun-fat, Emmy Rossum, Jamie Chung, James Masters, Randall Duck Kim. Like, it's not a bad cast.
Jamie Chung is just goals.
I'm interested to find out what's so bad about this anime that you mentioned, Blood and something.
Blood of Zeus.
Blood of
That's
Zeus.
it.
Oh, Jesus.
Do explain why it's so
I
bad.
want to know the details.
I'm intrigued.
Okay, so let's just start off by saying there's one episode that is essentially ripping off Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, really?
Let's just get that out of the way. Like,
Shameful.
plot point by plot point, literally, it's like friends go off on a dangerous mission. Perseus, Theseus, whatever the fuck the character's name is up in Olympus training with Zeus, and it's like, no, you are not ready, but my friends are in danger, and then he goes anyway, and I'm like, fucking hell. Like, it's not even homage, it's just blatantly ripping off. Secondly, the standard of animation is so fucking poor. The character designs are cool, but they're animated like 6 frames per second.
Oh dear.
It's so fucking jarring because there's 3D animation in there as well, and they're in like 24 frames. And then when you juxtapose that with 6 frames, it stands out like a sore fucking thumb. And I'm like, dude, my immersion is just annihilated. And then like, plot makes no sense. Rules are set up before things happen so that there's forced conflict. And okay, there's this one part, right? The mother needs to die for the plot to happen. Okay, so usually you think of an organic way of making it happen. But now we've got Zeus and Hera doing their thing, influencing the world. And then before Zeus can save Mommy Dearest, he gets stopped by all the gods coming to him and saying, okay, you're interfering, what are you doing? We have to kill you. Do you want us to kill you, or do you want to stop doing what you're doing? And he's like, okay, I'll stop interfering and influencing things. Literally, the next episode, he hurls like 24 lightning bolts at the surface of the world, and it's like, oh, it's Zeus having a tantrum again. And I'm like, what the fuck's happening? It's like, logically speaking, Zeus should have been killed in that moment, but nah, instead he goes to Earth, brings his son back to Olympus, and starts training him, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
Okay.
And then characters coming out of nowhere to save people who are in a pinch because, you know, good writing. It's like, it's just...
Oh, Jessica Henwick's in this.
I know. It's got a good cast, and that fucking sucks.
No.
It's like...
Well, at least the cast's good, I guess.
And it's like, if you're gonna be... If you're gonna be calling yourself an anime, have the balls to reach that standard.
Jessica Henwick deserves to be in more stuff.
Do you know what? This is actually true. Do you know what?
I can't remember who she is. I'm gonna look her up.
She was the standout character in Iron Fist. Like, it was like the entire... At least season 1, anyway, was
I didn't
not
watch
good.
Iron Fist,
It was not good. But Jessica Henwick as Colleen Wing was great.
I remember liking her in Defenders as well.
She should have been the lead, and they realised that mistake in season 2 because they actually give her the damn Iron Fist in season 2.
She's gonna be in the Matrix 4?
Yeah,
Hello?
and Godzilla vs. Kong. She was in a film called Underwater earlier this year.
Do you know what? I watched Underwater with my parents last week. It was kind of shit.
I watched it as well, and it was
It was pretty shit.
I thought the same thing when I watched it a couple of weeks ago.
Like, me and my dad were like, what the fuck's happening? Just fuck off.
Oh,
Clearly.
I didn't realise she was in Game of Thrones.
Oh shit, yeah.
She was also a X-wing fighter in The Force Awakens.
Oh. And she's
Oh.
in St. Trinian's too? That's random.
She was also in a show called Spirit Warriors on on CBBC like 10 years ago or something.
See, BBC.
Oh, yeah, that's popped up. 2010.
She's come a long way.
Yeah.
The first film she was in was St. Trinian's 2, and she's uncredited. That sucks. That's me.
I mean, everyone has to
I mean,
start
to be
somewhere,
fair.
right?
Yeah, that's true. Well, she's come a long way from 20, I think it was 2009 that film came out, so
Hmm.
cool. She
Good.
seems like a cool actress.
I think Benedict Wong was actually in Spirit Warriors as well. Which is pretty interesting. I think he might have played her dad in the show.
Fair
Benedict Wong, playing the dad since 2000.
I could be wrong. Like I remember watching it when it first aired, but that was
Benedict
like 10
Wong
years
has
ago,
been
so
popping up all over the place ever since Doctor
deservedly.
Strange. Yeah.
I
It's
love
like Jack
Benedict
Black, you
Wong.
never realize he's in it until you watch it again.
Oh yeah, he pops up a lot.
I was watching the personal history of David Copperfield a couple of weeks back,
How
And he-
is it?
and he shows up, and I was like, I'm so happy to see you in this.
That's the one with Dave Patel, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to watch that, but it kind of missed me by.
Peter Capaldi, Tilda Swinton, Morford
Oh.
Clark.
Isn't
Tilda
Hugh Laurie in
Swinton's
it?
I'm okay.
Hugh Laurie is in it, yeah. And Ben Whishaw. It's a great cast, and I quite liked the film as well. It has a very quirky sense of humour that I really appreciated.
Oh, that's good.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, another anime just popped into my head.
Oh my.
I mean, I haven't finished it, but I started watching some of Black Butler. But it because Netflix has only got
Ooh.
like the fourth series, I think. So I've like started in the middle of it. But I enjoyed it, and also the same voice actor for Ida in
J. Michael Tatum. Yeah, he does Sebastian.
yeah, and I like him. He's very fun and goofy. And there's a bit where he literally just goes up to a tiger because he has this weird thing for pets.
Hmm.
Oh no, I think
For
it's cats
cats,
in
yeah.
particular because he's like a demon butler, isn't he?
Yeah, he hates dogs but loves cats, if I remember
Hates dogs.
correctly.
Yeah, and there's this tiger because they're in like a circus, and he literally just walks up to the tiger and starts petting it, and the tiger just like sticks his whole head in his mouth, and he's just like, "Oh, good tiger," and I'm like, "That's how I die."
But interestingly, the Japanese live-action adaptation of Black Butler, pretty decent.
I didn't know there was a live action version. Cool.
Yeah, it came out like 2014-ish, I would want to say. It's pretty decent. Be good.
I'll have to check it out.
Have any of you watched Blue Exorcist?
Oh my god, yes, I love that show.
Do you know what? I haven't.
Oh, it's so good.
I've watched the first 2 episodes of the anime, I think. I quite enjoyed
How fun is the priest character? He's just
Oh my god.
dull.
Well, that was the first time I've been silent. Wow.
No, shocking.
I really liked the setup of the show.
It's very good, isn't it?
Yeah. I know. I think I'm remembering it correctly. Isn't there like a school
Yeah,
that they go to?
yeah. They basically go to a school for exorcists because, like, basically there's demons that have been like unleashed, and the main character is basically the son of the devil. So he has like this magic sword that can basically kill demons, but everyone else like has these special like exorcism powers, and there's like a school for it's literally a school for exorcism, and you like get taught how to do it, and he goes to school, but he's got to kind of hide the fact that he's the son of the devil.
Do you know
Yeah, I
what?
remember that now. I was really hooked by the first episode, but for some reason after the second episode, I just never went back to it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Okay, if you keep watching it, there is a giant cat character that pops
Okay,
up, and
well,
he's the best.
now I have to see it.
He's
Now
the
I
best
have to see
character
it for the
ever.
cat.
Okay, I don't know why this popped into my head, but when you guys were talking about priests, schools, and demons and stuff like that, I got thinking of a show called Fire Force. Have any of you heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Is it like?
Oh, go on.
I was gonna say, is it like little fire? Is it like firefighters or is it like magic?
No, it's both.
Oh, okay.
It's done by the same guy who did Soul Eater back in the day. It's his
Oh,
new manga, and there's this one particular scene that I loaded onto the Watch Together. If you guys want to hop in, and I just want to show just how fucking beautifully it's animated and expressed.
Okay.
What do you see? Just so I know what's on.
A blank. Okay, yeah. No, a crying scene.
Crying scene.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I see it.
Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna play it for a bit and then just marvel at how expressive it is.
Okay.
Okay. So like the sheer amount of animation and detail going into this one
That's
shot.
That's
lot.
great.
That's so good. It makes me sad.
Like that's just a small clip of it, but in the actual
It's in
show
the big
itself,
sad.
it goes on for like 40 seconds and you're like, oh my god, like just my poor baby.
Yeah.
Because it's literally after her mentor gets killed, so it's like, oh
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh.
But yeah, oh, she's also a cat fire girl, by the way.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, Fire Force. It's a very grim show. Highly recommend.
Oh, in Blue Exorcist, like the characters will get like familiars, so like basically they can summon a demon and be like, "You're mine now. You're my pet now." And there's one, and it's a tiny little plant, and it's just the cutest thing ever. And you're just like, "Oh."
That kind of reminds me of His Dark Materials.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the demons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just kind of clicked when you said familiars.
Yeah. One of the characters has very weird eyebrows, and literally
Every anime
comments
has
on them.
very weird eyebrows.
No, but every single time she's on screen, someone's like, "What's wrong with you? Weird brows," and I'm just like, because she's not a very nice person either, and it's just really funny. She's like, "You got called."
I think the best one is in, weirdly enough, Naruto, where Naruto just totally just calls Rock Lee bushy browed the entire series, and I'm like, fucking hell, dude.
She has a really cool familiar though. She has it's like the two foxes joined at the tail, and one's white and one's dark, and they're just really cool.
Like that's gotta be really awkward movement wise, though. You gotta be really in sync.
It's a very strange design, but I was just like, the foxes, and they're cool, and I want them.
Speaking of foxes, have any of you seen? It's not anime per se, but have you guys seen Love, Death, Robots?
I have
No,
not,
but I
but I've
keep
been
meaning to
wanting
watch that
to.
one.
It is
I've not
so
heard of it.
interesting. It's a 10-episode Netflix series, and it's produced by David Fincher and the guy who did Deadpool,
Oh, cool.
Tim Miller.
Tim Miller. Yeah, so the two of them produced it, and it's just 10 to 30-minute long episodes, and each one is a different story. So one can be like a space farmer fighting aliens in a fucking infested world, or it can be like a Russian war platoon taking on demons from hell. So yeah, it's very, very cool.
Doesn't Mary Elizabeth Winstead provide a voice in that show?
She is acting in one of them, full on live action.
Well, I'm sold.
And I'm pretty sure fucking Venom from Spider-Man 3,
Topher Grace.
yes,
Oh.
plays her boyfriend in that one.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
wow.
So yeah, Very cool show. So, is there any other anime or anime related things that you would like to talk about?
I mean, we haven't really talked about Studio Ghibli.
Do you know what? This is actually pretty true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Studio Ghibli's in a
It's been
weird place
mostly shows.
because, like, everything about Studio Ghibli is, like, logically speaking, should be considered anime, but for some reason in my brain, it's always considered like a separate category. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a ton of them that I haven't actually seen yet. I'm trying to think. I've seen Spirited Away. Oh, I've seen Kiki's Delivery Service and I love it. I have a little teddy of the cat. Gigi, I love him. What else have I seen? I've seen is Princess Mononoke?
Yeah.
Is that a studio?
Miyazaki, yeah.
I've seen that. It's like a more violent Fern Gully. I love it. What else have I seen?
It's like if Fern Gully had a pair of balls.
Basically, yeah.
Um,
I'm trying to think what other ones I've seen.
fuck. There was Ariete, which was the Borrowers offshoot that they made.
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen. I haven't actually seen My Neighbor Totoro either.
Oh my god! Like,
Oh,
okay,
it's lovely.
Totoro.
lovely.
It's got a big cat in it. I'm like, I need to watch this.
I'm in a weird place with Totoro because, like, I'd say it is very much geared towards a much younger audience.
I'd
Oh,
agree
okay.
with that.
So, like, I have a hard time getting into Totoro, but when I'm into it, I'm just like, this is just wholesome, and I'm just down for this.
No.
I'm gonna make a very weird reference. There's a moment in The Mandalorian, season 2, episode 3, where I just kind of went, "Oh, that's so lovely," and that's just my entire time watching My
Did
Neighbor
it involve
Totoro.
Yoda?
That's how you will feel.
Oh
if
my
you watch
God.
My roommate is a cat.
It actually did not involve the child. It involved 2 other characters, and I was just like, "Oh, that's so lovely." And that's just my entire experience watching My Neighbor Totoro. I'm just like, "Oh, it's lovely." Princess
Sorry.
is brutal. Oh, sorry.
It was very brutal, but I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry to deviate. I'm not sure if this is a Studio Ghibli film, but it's a film that everyone should go watch. It's called The Girl Who Leapt Through Time.
Oh, that's by Mamoru Hosoda. Not
Yeah,
Ghibli, but very good. It's
Yeah,
Madhouse,
it's very
actually.
good. It's very good, and it made me cry, but I also really enjoyed it.
There's also a live action version and a book that it was adapted by.
Cool. Yeah, just talking about those films I've watched, it popped up.
But yeah,
trying to
Mamoru
think.
Hosoda, the guy who did The Girl That Leapt Through Time, the anime, the guy who did the first Digimon film, that was his first film.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually
wonder
just
where I liked it.
Yeah, his first co-directed film, Digimon the movie,
Yeah.
which attracted the eye of Ghibli head producer Toshio Suzuki.
Exactly, yeah.
Because of that movie, he got with Ghibli. That's cool as hell.
Yeah. And then
That's so
there's...
cool.
He also did Wolf Children, he did Summer Wars,
Oh, Wolf Children! I love that film. It makes me cry.
and then there's fucking The Boy and the Beast, and his most recent film, nominated for an Oscar, Mirai, which was fucking amazing.
I was gonna say you loved a film.
Yeah. Like, watched it in the cinema, and I was like, oh my god, I'm just enthralled. Mamoru Hosoda is just genius levels of storytelling.
Cool.
What do you guys think of When Marnie Was There?
I need to watch that as well. I haven't seen that either.
Okay, see, I always mix up When Marnie Was There with Only Yesterday, so let me double check which one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, sure.
When...
I don't know that one.
No, that one's fairly recent because I remember when it came out.
Yeah, it came out in 2014.
Yeah,
I remember,
2014.
I remember noticing it because I used to have a friend called Marnie. I was like, "Hi, there's a film about you."
I haven't seen it, unfortunately.
Ooh,
No, I haven't seen it either.
I've watched something you guys have.
It was bound to
Anime
happen.
related.
It was bound to happen.
Yeah.
I quite liked it. I thought it was a nice story.
Sweet.
In a weird way, it actually kind of reminds me of Blind Manor.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay, well then we have to check it out.
in a weird way. Like, do you know the way that Blind Manor says that not all ghost stories are like spooky ones. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's memories and people that haunt you as opposed to ghosts.
Yeah.
I kind of got a similar vibe from when Marnie was there.
All right, cool.
Oh, sweet, man.
Have any of you seen The Tale of the Princess Kaguya?
Again, no.
No, I haven't seen that one either.
And it sucks because I love the actual story of Princess Kaguya. And I was like, oh, it'd be so up my alley, but I haven't seen it.
Oh. So yeah, I haven't seen that many.
Oh my god, David, you've seen more
about it.
Ghibli films than I have. It's
Yeah.
I
think I've seen about 3.
I've seen Totoro, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, Arrietty.
Kiki's Delivery Service.
I haven't, unfortunately.
Watch it. It's got a kitty cat in it. It's so cute.
Then now I have to.
And he
I've
talks.
seen- Oh.
Talking kitty.
And I've seen Kaguya and When Marnie was there.
Cool. Yeah, you've seen more than me. I've seen about 4 because I've seen Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service, and Spirited Away.
I think it was a case of Film 4 was doing...
oh yeah, they did that
Oh,
monthly
yeah, I
thing.
remember
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I just kind of recorded a bunch of them, and I was like, right, I'm gonna make this my mission. I'm gonna watch them, and I enjoyed them all,
Nice.
and the animation's beautiful.
Oh yeah, like they take ages to actually do the drawings individually by hand. So
yeah.
like I watched a documentary on Hayao Miyazaki like a few months ago, and the guy's insane when it comes to his work ethic.
Cool. We'll get along.
Which shockingly, I haven't seen much Studio Ghibli films as well. It's weird.
Oh my god, I'm overtaking you guys.
I know.
I
I've
know,
seen
it's shocking.
Totoro. I've not even seen Grab the Fireflies yet. Fucking hell.
I haven't seen that one, but
No, I
I know
haven't seen that
Ravi
one
raves on about it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Totoro, Only Yesterday, Whispers of the Heart, Princess Mononoke, Howls, Earthsea, Arrietty, and yeah, 7. Jesus, I gotta rectify this.
It kind of reminds me of this time where I was playing Mario Kart with one of my friends, and he normally beats me, but this one time I finally got ahead of him, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm actually doing pretty good this round. And then he was like, not for long. He made it his mission to beat me, and he eventually did.
Oh,
That's
see,
like me and Ryan on Soul Calibur. Like, I've beat him once out of I don't know how many times, maybe 20.
so this is why I
probably
stick.
somewhere around there.
This is why I stick to like single player games, because I get insanely competitive. Like, I don't want to beat you. I want to annihilate you so hard
I
you
want
never
to
play the thing
eviscerate
again.
you.
It's the same with Super Smash Bros. As soon as I start winning, or if I win a round for next game, he just has to beat me.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
it's
usually
either
pull
I
out
win or
Creed
you
whenever I
die.
lose.
See, I make the mistake of playing as different characters in Soul Calibur, so I'm like, what does this button do? And literally, if I win, it's by accident, because I'm like, I pressed buttons! I
Fair.
don't win.
I always play like different characters, but my main Siegfried. But I generally play different characters because I'm just easily the best out of the people I know at Soul Calibur. just because I literally grew up with the series. So like I'll always play random characters just to kind of even the field a bit. But then if I lose one, I'm like, right back to Siegfried.
The best thing about Soul Calibur though is you can make your own characters, and we made one while we were drunk.
Oh, we made some
And he
really
was
special
beautiful.
creations.
Oh my.
His big fat skeleton with a top hat and flip flops.
Hang on.
And a squeaky voice.
Fat skeleton. I need to know the logistics of this. Like,
We literally just took a
He's got
skeleton
like wide ribs.
and just
Oh,
made
okay.
him really big.
so it's not like so what's a lot
I'll
from
send
Send you
medieval.
a picture
Oh my
of it.
god, please put a picture of it in the chat because
think
they
it
need
could
to
be-
see the beautiful creation.
Yeah, I should be
That
able
is-
to find it in my uploads on
Oh.
Facebook.
I'm trying to remember what his name was.
Juan.
Juan.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah,
He's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
this is what happens when we drink and invite
Yeah.
people over.
Yeah.
Fair.
Creations are made.
Okay, so out of curiosity, what do you guys feel about Makoto Shinkai, the guy who did Your Name, Weathering with You?
Oh my god, I love your name. So
Your Name is on my watch list.
your name is so good,
Sweet. Um,
and it's so wholesome, but also very sad.
pretty good anime.
Mhm. It's good.
My favorite of his is actually Garden of Words.
Oh,
Pretty sure it's on Netflix actually, if I remember correctly.
Ooh.
Let me double check. Garden of Words. And it is okay. Just watch.
I just looked up his filmography and I have not seen any of his films.
I'm just
Yeah,
looking
it's
at-
on Netflix.
Well, that's going on my watch list.
And it's only 40 minutes as well, so Garden of Words.
Very nice.
You'll be done in an hour.
I might watch that after we finish this.
Yeah. Like, it's such a slow anime as well. Like, it's basically just a guy and a girl talking for most of it, and it's just so like, when I first watched it, I was still in my teens, technically. And because I was like 19 or something like that. And I was like, I relate to the guy, and now I'm like 26, 27, and I'm like, I relate to the woman. This is a good anime. I'm just waiting to see this skeleton dude, by the way.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it in my phone. I may literally need to boot up the PS4 and load up Soul Calibur and take another picture of
okay.
it because I may have deleted it.
Ah, no
well,
worries,
If
no
you've
worries.
deleted, I'll show it next time. I'll be like, this is Juan.
Yeah, like the opening of next week's episode is literally
Yeah,
one, and then
No,
Juan
I found
just
it.
popped
I
up,
found
like,
it.
hello.
Oh.
Oh, he's found it.
Okay, I'm gonna send it into the thing now.
I was just thinking
Excellent.
because Tom agreed to be on next week to talk about Bly, and I was just thinking how, like, confused he'd be when
he'll
we're
just
just
be
talking
like,
about Juan, and then he's like, "What the fuck's going
They'd
on?"
be like, who's Juan and what's going on? Why?
Whoa,
Why
that
is
rhymed.
Who's Juan? What's going on? Yay.
How do I share it into this group?
Yes, throw it at us. I don't know.
Do you know what? If I can download it without issue, I'll put it up on the stream as well, just so that everyone has
Everybody
context.
gets to see it.
Oh, I tell you what. Then what I'll do is I will put it in Messenger to you, and then you'll be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. On Facebook Messenger, you mean?
Everyone deserves Juan.
I just bear with us. Bloody phone's being a pain.
Phone!
Okay.
Alright.
Oh,
I
Oh,
just
that's it.
remembered Dylan.
Oh my!
Um,
I didn't do it.
Just remember Dylan.
you really like a silent voice, don't you?
I love the silent
Voice is so
voice.
good!
I've got the Blu-ray of it.
It's so good. I really wish I asked my brother to come on this now because he loves that film and he introduced me to it and it's so good.
Like, I was one of those people. I read the manga and then I watched the anime. Like, I'm that fucking hipster.
It's so good. It made me cry. You know, it's good if it makes me cry. I'm seeing a pattern here.
Okay, the picture is now in the Discord chat.
That is
Oh,
Juan.
Jesus, this is
As
going
well
on
as
stream.
He's beautiful, isn't he?
That's amazing.
Okay.
I mean about him being fat with wide ribs, and he's
He
got a
got
little
them.
square heart,
He got them thick bones.
and he has literally the squeakiest
Oh my
voice
God, he does.
possible within the game.
He literally sounds like this. I think the voice thing that we had him say was "I'm beautiful," so he says "beautiful" like that.
But
That's
also
how he talks.
incredibly fast because like you have to up the frequency. It's like
I'm beautiful. Yeah,
Okay, so this is
and
gonna
that's
sound
literally his intro.
this is gonna sound so horrible, but do you guys know Jim Sterling?
yeah.
Kind of giving me Jim Sterling vibes with the top hat and the
Oh no.
quote unquote thick
Yeah.
body.
Yeah, that's fair. Top Hat was more inspired by Total Biscuit.
Okay.
Piece, but yeah, and also just because top hats in general are just always a fantastic thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, speaking of top hats, not anime related, but have you guys seen Blood Drive?
No, but I want to watch it.
No.
Nope.
Okay, so basically imagine Death Race, but instead of fueling up your cars with actual fuel, you fuel them
It's-
using human body parts and adrenaline.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And it's 10 episodes,
My
and
friend mentioned it to me.
there's a guy who hosts Blood Drive, and he's like typical mustache twirling villain with a top hat, but my god, he is so charismatic.
Dick Dastardly.
Oh wow.
Oh, I
he
need
is-
to watch this.
It's so good. But yes, a silent voice, very good.
Oh yeah, watch it. Now.
Yeah, and it's so good as well because like understandably because it is an adaptation, there are some things missing from it from the manga, but the things that they adapted is just the perfect things, and it's like so good.
Very nice.
It's very good, and I like it a lot. And that's all I have to say on it, really.
And visually as well, it's so interesting that the way they actually did it, like the crosses over the people's faces and all of that, it was so
I
so
love that.
because I was
Like,
wondering. Oh, go on.
Yeah, I remember watching it going, why are some people's faces like crossed out? And then when it's revealed why, it's like, oh my god, that is so cool! Like such a good use of like specifically animation for that.
Yeah, because like I was wondering how were they ever going to make this work in an
Yeah.
anime, because that was something in the manga, and I was like, oh, so they just literally do it. It's like, oh, okay,
I
fair.
don't want to talk about it, but it's spoilies for the whole film, so kind of can't.
I mean, yeah. Have you guys seen it?
Have you seen it or heard of it? Okay, alright, so
Not heard of it.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I'm not gonna spoil the thing we're specifically talking about because you should really watch it to get it. But yeah, there's a thing that's done with the animation that is literally you like it's going on throughout the whole thing, and you kind of like don't understand why it's happening, and then at the very end of the film, you're like, oh, that's why that was there, and it's just really really good use of that. So I'm not going to talk about that because otherwise it basically ruins the film for you.
Like,
But
if it's possible, I would love to just get a stream together of just like anyone who like the three of us, because
Yeah.
you know Ryan guessed, so fuck off. No,
wow.
joking, joking, obviously, but like you know, getting us recording our reactions to a film and then putting it up as kind of like a miniature version of the stream, but pre-recorded,
Yes,
That would be cool.
that would
and
be really fun.
that way we can just get David to binge on anime, and we can binge on things that
Watch his reactions and mine, because obviously some of them I haven't seen. But yeah, in a silent voice, basically the premise is this: there's a guy who bullies this girl because she can't talk. So like she's got no voice, she can't talk, so she has to sign language. And a lot of the time she does try to talk to him, but she can't get out what she's saying to him because obviously she's deaf and she can't speak. And he basically bullies her, and then like basically they meet up again years later, and he kind of like tries to make up for bullying her a lot basically, and you just see this massive character development of this guy who started out as such a horrible, like nasty bully, and you sort of get his side of everything, and you sort of see what's going on with him, and just you watch him as he changes along this film because he's just like determined to try and make it up to her because he treated her so badly, and it's basically him learning from how he basically treats everybody, and it's a really, really cool journey to go along with someone because it's basically someone learning, oh, I've been toxic this whole time and I need to stop. Like, I need to look at how I'm treating other people, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and it actually shows children for the pieces of shit they actually are.
Yeah, like you just get straight up. For anyone who's been bullied, you would recognize this kind of character, and then the fact that it makes you sympathize and go, oh, they actually want to actively change. It kind of makes you go, I mean, I'm glad they're changing.
Yeah,
like I know a lot of people who've been bullied probably wouldn't be able to forgive their bully because, varying degrees of bullying, but it was just a really interesting look at this is someone who's done horrible things and now they're having to account for it.
Yeah, it manages to straddle a really fine line between making the bully sympathetic and making him absolved, because at no point is he completely absolved. He has to live with it. And
yeah, it's like you treated these people this way and now you have to deal with the shit you caused.
He does get his own fair share of bullying himself, and that's what I think makes it really interesting, showing a cycle of it and showing how once you are the bully, people are less likely to take your place when it's happening to you and stuff like that. It's a really fascinating anime and manga, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of like shows you like a steep slope of when you start bullying other people yourself, it doesn't make you feel any better. It doesn't help.
Do you know what? When I went to watch this in the cinema, I was sitting next to a couple of guys and they were like, we drove 2 hours from Wales to see this film here, and I was like, Jesus, that's dedication.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, oh man, that's something I do miss in the cinemas, just going to watch anime.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine that film was amazing in the cinema.
Oh god, yeah.
Because I just watched it at home on Netflix and I was just like, whoa.
And you know what?
Brain.
It's so beautiful, but like, I think the prettiest anime I've ever seen in the cinemas is probably Your Name. Like,
oh, okay.
Watched it on IMAX as well. It's the only anime I've seen on IMAX.
That's cool.
And my god, it's so pretty in IMAX that I'm pretty sure half my face melted. Yeah, Silent Voice, big yes. Watch it.
Big yes.
I believe it's
lots
on
of
Netflix.
It is, yes.
Oh.
I think it is. I don't know if they took it off though.
Netflix watch party, here we come.
Oh yeah. I do like the idea of us all watching something for the first time and being like, this was our reaction.
Yeah, that'd be kind of
Get
cool.
some fun. Yeah, you get some fun faces out of us, I think.
Or maybe us recommending something to the others that the others haven't watched or something, and seeing how we react to them reacting as well. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah. Go watch it.
Sweet.
Good.
So maybe the first one could be the three of us watching a Silent Voice on Netflix together and recording it.
Yeah. Okay, if you want to see me cry though, because I will.
Oh, it's going to be voice only, like this,
Oh,
so don't worry about it.
Yeah, you'll just hear me go, oh my god, it's still so good.
Oh. God, what? Oh, do you know what? This is only because we were speaking about Grave of the Fireflies a little bit ago. Have you guys heard of In This Corner of the World?
No, I haven't heard that one. To Google!
So it's basically an anime by Studio Mappa that's basically about the tail end of the Second World War, sorry. And it's basically the events of just an ordinary woman living life with her husband and the family, raising a kid, just before the atomic bombs drop on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and then them just realizing that Japan surrendered, and it's just like,
Oh, depression.
yeah, it's like 2.5 hours long, and it's just so interesting in so many ways. And when you see the like battle sequences, like I quote unquote battle sequences, like when the bombings happen and when someone dies, it's just so matter of fact and visceral. Like it's such a contrast to the art style that it just hits you so hard. Another film that's beautiful in the big screen.
Well, it is on Prime Video if anyone wants to watch it. You do
Oh,
have to pay for it though.
Which
is a bit poo.
I got the Blu-ray, so
Brain energy.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? Because you guys like One Punch Man, Studio Madhouse, have you seen Red Line?
No. What is this again to Google?
Okay, imagine
I'm
Death
gonna put it
Race
on
but
my
in
watch
space. Death Race in space. That's Red Line.
Race in space rhymes. We are doing the rhymes today, everyone.
It is so cool. It's like an hour and a half long race, and it's so bright, colorful, psychedelic that you're like, oh my god, this is a visual treat.
This sounds like what's that? Does it? Initial D.
Initial
Sounds
D.
like-
I was just thinking that, like, ooh, we still need to watch Initial D.
I know. We just,
I just
know
know
the
the
meme.
music so well because the music is just so fantastic in that anime.
I've not seen Initial D either. I just, again, I know
Just
the
know the
memes.
music.
Oh, Amy, you watched this
Hello.
recently. 90 Short, Walk On Girl.
Oh yeah, I love that film. I couldn't remember the name of it. I was talking about it before, and I was like, "This is a film, and I don't know the name of it."
Yeah,
I
Masaki
like it.
Yuasa.
And it's good, but I don't know what it's called. But yeah, I really like it. It makes you like. It makes alcoholic drinks look pretty. And it's just like, that's impressive.
Yeah, true. Also, the same guy, Masaki Yuasa, he recently put out an anime on Netflix, Japan Sings 2020, and that's
Oh
one
yeah,
of
you suggested that, but you said like maybe like be aware of it being
it's harrowing sometimes.
yeah that.
Like, imagine like you got 2012 or a disaster movie of that ilk, but it's restricted to Japan, and it doesn't hold back any punches. It shows you all the blood and guts.
Oh wow.
Tasty good.
And it's
Just what I like.
and the deaths are just so nonchalant as well. It's like a character's dead, the next second he's not, he's just dead. It's like, holy shit.
I accidentally typed in Japan Sings, and I got a YouTube video that says Japan Sings, the Japanese musical, and I'm like, excuse me, what is this?
Oh my god, like that would be epic.
That's
there was-
the thing that came up when I googled Japan Sings, but no, I meant Japan Sinks.
Yeah, there's so many musicals and stage shows coming from anime as well. You've got the Naruto stage show, you've got the Bleach stage show, you've got the Haikyuu stage show. It's mad how many there are.
Yeah. Well, it's
Wow.
going on my watch list. Ooh, Spider-Verse just popped up. As soon as I open Netflix, it's the first thing there's Spider-Verse, and I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
always happy to watch it.
Oh, Spider-Verse, what a film.
It's a sign that it's the next thing that you should
Yeah.
watch.
It's not an anime, but it is amazing, and everyone should watch it.
But you know what?
And it is technically animated, so you know, at me.
Do you know what though? Like, it does have anime Spider-Girl in it.
That's true. Penny.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Penny
Penny
Penny Parker.
I love her.
Like, yes.
Must protect.
And then Spider-Gwen is just, like, yes.
I still plan on going as her for Comic-Con one year, because I have to.
I want to cosplay as Peter B. Parker.
I think so did our friend Johnny. Like, he was gonna go as Peter B. Parker, and I was gonna go as Spider-Gwen, but then we ran out of time.
I want to be the pig.
Do it.
Yeah.
Ryan,
It's-
you can be Noir spider.
Oh, do you know what? No, I'll be Miles because then I'll be closer to his skin tone.
Oh. Yeah.
That's right, like we couldn't have a whitewashed Miles Morales in our group, so
Oh, do you know what?
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
be edgy and do that. We'll have the Porky Pig be the colored person, and we'll have the white dude be
Oh, no.
Miles.
oh no.
Oh, like the rage would be so beautiful to watch.
Okay, Japan 6 is now on my watch
My
list.
incredibly white niece can be Penny Parker.
Yeah. Who's gonna be the
Sure.
robot?
I'll be the robot.
Anya can be the robot.
Okay, Anya can be the robot.
Anya can be Penny.
Oh,
Anime girl
Penny
Parker.
Parker.
yes, yes, yes.
It's just Penny Parker.
Penny Parker, yes.
Oh,
'Cause-
I'm so happy. I ordered a Spider-Gwen Christmas jumper this year and I'm
That's
excited.
awesome.
Nice.
I'm super excited. Because I didn't get my jumper last year because we ordered Disney-themed ones. Ryan's was Lion King and mine was the genie from Aladdin and I never got it. Devastated.
What
Okay.
happens with-
I don't know. I think because we moved house that it went to the old house and we just never got it.
Okay, so OG Lion King or remake Lion King?
OG Lion
It's an OG
King.
one.
Oh, thank
I don't
fuck.
think it was last year. I think it was the year before.
Oh yeah, it was
I
the
think
yeah
it
because
was,
we've
like-
lived here for a year now. Whoa,
Yeah.
where'd the time go?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Remake was shit.
it wasn't very good. Mikey liked it, but I'm like, okay, you're allowed to like it. I don't.
No, he's not. He deserves better.
He
Show him
won't
the
watch
original.
OG one. Like, I think he's just doing this thing because like everyone's like said to him, "Have you watched the original Lion King?" And he's like, "No." And they're like, "You should watch it." And he's like, "No."
Watch it eventually.
Yeah, that's why
Couple
we
of times
stopped
now,
asking him.
Okay,
He's watched
fair.
he's just the live action one that he's seen. He's not seen the
Ah,
cartoon one.
yeah, I
Sure,
just-
I'm sure we watched it with them.
We watched the live action one with him, and I was like, "This is."
No, but I'm sure we watched the cartoon one with them as well.
Mm-mm.
I mean, to be
I
fair,
am
the live action is
positive that
technically a
we watched
cartoon.
That's
yeah.
true.
Fair.
I am positive that we watched the cartoon one with Mikey.
I don't remember this. I'm sorry.
Ask
My
him.
memory'd be bad. Either way, I don't think he's seen it, but he might have done. I don't know. But he liked the live action version because he actively asked to watch it.
Fair enough.
And I'm like, you like what you like. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like it's kind of. I grew up with the cartoon ones, so I'm always going to like them more. And he's grown up right smack banging where the live action ones have been kind of being released.
Yeah, I mean, I get, I do understand it, but objectively, the cartoon is just better in every facet of the
Oh, yeah.
meaning.
I even like the sequel.
Simba's Pride.
I
Yeah.
like Simba's Pride.
I
Fuck
love
yeah.
it. I mean, the villain song in that one, it slaps. I really like it.
I really love the Romeo and Juliet angle that they were going for as well.
Yeah.
I was dead into it when I was young. Like if I watch it
Oh,
now,
me
I
too.
don't know, but like I enjoyed it when I was young.
I think actually I watched some of that with Mikey. I think that might be the one he's watched, which is very weird. He also they brought like a TV series out for it as well.
Yeah, they did loads, like Lion King 1.5, Lion King the TV
Yeah.
show, Lion King 3.5. It's like, where'd 3 go? It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the TV show is really weird because they introduce like a third kid that you just don't find out about, and you're like, oh, okay, Simba. So you just don't want to talk about your male kid. He just doesn't get a story. It's all about your daughter. Okay.
Yes.
I really liked Lion King 3 Fargate over 2 days.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think the voice cast for Pumbaa, I don't think that was a particularly good choice in the live action.
Oh, Seth Rogen.
Yeah. I don't
You know what?
Seth Rogen.
I actually enjoyed Seth Rogen as Pumbaa.
I really liked Seth Rogen as Pumbaa as
Like,
well.
it's one of the few things about the live action one. I was like, okay, I'll give you a pass for that. And
I
I
don't know.
don't.
For me, I was just very much aware that it was Seth Rogen. I think that might have been.
I mean,
why.
Seth Rogen can only play Seth Rogen, so I think that's why it fit.
Yeah.
I find it exceptionally difficult to tolerate Seth Rogen in anything.
Me too, to be honest. Like that was one of the few times I could because I couldn't see him.
That's fair.
I remember when it was first announced that he was gonna play Pumba, and I just kind of screamed, and I was like, "That's perfect."
I can just imagine David in his room screeching like a teen girl, finding out her crush just texted back like one of those crappy American rom-coms.
I was just like, "That's perfect."
I was just like indifferent, and then when I watched it, I was like, I can just tell it's Seth Rogen, so it's just kind of ruining it for me.
Hey.
But that's me.
It was literally my favorite part of the film. Everything else was just no, thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know, I think the last...
It's like you get this food that you want to try, and you're like, actually, I'm done. No, thank you.
I'm trying to think if I liked any live-action remake, actually.
Aladdin.
Aladdin was fine. Yeah, I'll give it that.
Aladdin was a good time.
Yeah, it was.
I
It was
like
fun.
Will Smith's Genie because he wasn't trying to be Robin Williams.
Yeah,
Genie.
that was.
It was his own take on it.
I watched a
God.
fascinating video essay by, I think it's Lindsay Ellis, about how Robin Williams, voice acting as the genie, kicked off the trend of having
Yeah.
celebrities.
I remember
It was
that video
really,
essay.
really interesting. I really liked it.
Like,
Made
I'm
me
not.
cry as well.
I'm not the biggest Lindsay Ellis fan, but there are some videos I'm like, okay, you were on point there. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Because, like, Lindsay Ellis, as much as I like a lot of her videos, when she gets overly political, I get really turned off by her videos. But when she's just sticking to pure filmmaking, I'm like, fuck me, you know what you're talking about
yeah.
sometimes.
I like when she talks about filmmaking in particular. Like, I for some reason I keep watching like videos about the Phantom of the Opera, and I don't know why. I don't, like subconsciously, I have never seen the show. I didn't know what the hell it was about until I watched this video essay about it, and now I'm like, ooh, I might want to watch it.
Oh, like, fucking Andrew Lloyd Webber and Phantom is just fucking quintessential. But, I mean, in terms of musicals that people talk about, I mean, but, yeah, I actually watched the Joel Schumacher Phantom, and I'm like,
Yeah, she
fuck,
critiques
this is
that
shit.
pretty well.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
from what she said about it, I was like, oh my god, you're just on point with how bad this is as a movie. It's just, why did he pick that angle? Why did he pick that angle? It's just like, this is just not very good filmmaking.
I think
And
that
I really enjoyed it.
that is probably my favorite Lindsay Ellis video, the
It's
Schumacher Phantom video. Cats was good as well. She did a good one on cats. Oh, fucking
Millions
cats.
of videos about cats. Like, literally, I love how most of the videos are, why is cats?
Yeah.
Oh, cats
I'm
is
sorry,
just...
I've gone off on a tangent here.
To be fair, it is a good question.
Yeah.
Why?
Why
Yeah,
is
let's
cats?
get straight past what is cats. The most important thing is why
Why?
is cats.
Why is cats? I have all
Yeah.
the questions for this.
We still need to watch it. Oh my god, we should watch it, and then
No.
we should film our reactions.
Oh,
Should not.
Jesus.
Because the reactions will just be pure fear.
I love the way that Ryan was just like, no.
Well, that's
It
fine.
wasn't even, she wasn't even suggesting that I watch it. I was just like, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
But it'll
like-
be funny for the content.
Don't,
Yeah,
don't,
like-
don't you say the magic word to me, woman.
The content. The content, guys.
Oh my god, it's like... She's making you sound like a fucking chatterbait cam girl, dude.
Yeah.
Or Pornhub, whichever
sorry.
streaming site you prefer. We've come full circle. We started the conversation with Pornhub, and we're close to ending it with Pornhub as well.
Yeah. You came for the anime and you stayed for the tangents.
Oh yeah,
Pornhub.
and Pornhub.
And
God.
Pornhub, yeah.
Like, do you know what? I reckon that would be the pinnacle of my quote-unquote YouTube career, being sponsored by Pornhub. that would be pretty dope.
I remember there was an esports team that got sponsored by Pornhub.
I remember
And then
that.
They weren't allowed to play in one of the leagues because of that. Oh
Was
my
it-
God, which team was it?
Was the Call of Duty one or?
I don't think so. I think it was a League of Legends one, but oh, they were banned from ESL. They were sponsored by YouPorn.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
And they were banned from ESL. Oh yeah, they were called Team YP. YP for YouPorn.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, that was
Fun.
really something.
Like, I've got this picture of all the Spider-Man in Into the Spider-Verse, and we've just been talking about porn sites for the past minute or two. It's great.
Those
Yep.
two do not go together.
One of these things.
Oh,
is
I don't
not
know.
like
Like, there's a
others.
few Spider-Man pornos out there, so
If it exists, there's a porn of it. Just saying.
exactly.
Huh?
I said fact.
Yeah.
I was just like, did someone speak?
What is this thing?
No.
I hear voices. It's like fucking
I
Haley
mean,
Joel
I hear
Osment.
voices on a regular basis, so it's like nothing new to me.
It's like Haley Joel Osment from The Sixth Sense. Like, I see people. It's like, I hear voices. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Yeah. But not in a spooky way, just straight up, just like, I hear voices, and people are like, what? You okay? And you're like, is that not normal?
Oh wait, I left Discord on. My bad.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I left the
Oh,
headphones
credits.
in. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a question. Not
Ask it.
technically anime, but what? Because we were talking about Disney for so long, what's your favorite Disney cartoon?
Oh, this.
Lion King or Aladdin.
So, are we talking movies or
Movies.
movies? Okay. Oh, it's a tough one. I've got to say Mulan.
Good choice.
I just love
Uh,
it.
Are we allowing Pixar ones or wait? Actually, Wreck-It Ralph is that
Wreck-It Ralph
Disney
is
original,
straight
yeah.
Disney.
not Pixar,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's Disney Studios.
Yeah. I gotta
Oh.
go Wreck-It Ralph.
I got to change my mind actually because it was Mulan from when I was a kid, but now shut up.
Well, to change mine.
I'm changing my mind. It's
How
Lilo
dare
and
you.
Stitch.
You're on the
It's Lilo
internet.
and
You're
Stitch,
never
hands
allowed
down.
to change your mind.
No, once you said it, it's set in stone.
Damn it. Well,
You-
Lilo
no-
and Stitch
no
came
backsies.
out after it and then beat it. I love
Okay,
Stitch.
so Lilo and
That's
Stitch. Mine's always been Mulan. I fucking love that film.
It's so
I know
good.
you do.
Oh, do you now?
The remake, however,
I
could
mean,
go
you-
in the bin.
Oh, I haven't seen the new one.
It's very bad.
I've heard. And
The
you know what?
actual voice actress for Mulan's in it.
Ming
What?
Na
Ming Na, yeah.
Yeah, but like she's literally in it for a tiny cameo, and I'm like, that doesn't make it good. Nice try, movie, but no.
Like, I'm actually genuinely curious to watch it to see how bad it is. But I like, because I've got a copy of it, and
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but I'm like, I could, but I don't want to. But it's like, yeah, I'm
I
at
mean-
that stage.
I mean, I'm just really mad at them for basically butchering the character of Mulan. Like, she gets no characterization at all. Even a little bit. I mean, because you know the whole point of the cartoon is she starts out as just this everyday woman who goes out and fights in a war. Whereas in this one, it's like, I don't want to spoil it.
I mean, I don't know about the other two, but yeah, I'm more than fine with spoilers. I know what happens.
Okay then. Well, in the remake, spoilies for people watching, by the way, she's basically made out to be this magical person with this extreme amount of chi, and people are gonna think she's a witch. So basically,
Okay.
she's just overpowered at the start, and it's like that doesn't give her any character growth, does it? Because she's already like, "Ooh, look at me! I can fight! I can." She literally, like in the first scene, it shows you her as a kid. She literally climbs up a wall, chases this chicken around a like village, and climbs
That
on
you do.
ceilings, and jumps off the roof. And it's like
Excuse me. What?
she
the
just
fuck?
straight up can do everything. You know that in the cartoon where she learns how to do everything. This one, she just can. Because chi is the reason.
This sounds fucking awful.
It's like, why have you done this to me? Like, how is she supposed to develop as a character if you've basically made her superpowered to start with?
It sounds fascinating. I'm actually curious
sounds
now.
like
It's like
the
it
type
sounds
of
fascinating,
film.
and I'm like, get me the fuck away from this movie,
I mean,
please.
I feel like filmmakers, when there's a bad movie around, you have to watch it for morbid curiosity.
Oh,
It
like
sounds
It's like
sounds
a
awesome.
weird thing that you just have to do.
I feel like I can rip this film a new one.
You probably will want to make a video about it, and I would like to join you if that's okay, because I have a lot of problems with this film.
Yeah,
it's your
sure.
it's your new dissection series after Enola Holmes.
Fucking,
Everything wrong
I'm
with
still
the
working
movie.
on The Last of Us, dude. Like that's a fucking mammoth task. Like I'm still talking about the prologue of The Last of Us, you know, and like I've got 16 pages worth of a script for the prologue of The Last of Us, the first 2 hours.
My
I,
lord.
I haven't even gotten to day 1 yet. It's just, oh my god, like, do you know what? I've gotten to the point where I was pissed off at The Last of Us, then I thought it was comical, and now it's just apathy, and I'm able to look at everything objectively and just find out everything that's wrong with it.
Fair. That's a good way to get to.
Yeah.
But yeah, with just everything about this movie just makes me angry because it was supposed to be like more culturally correct. It's completely not, because I watched a video about someone going, "This is not Chinese culture. This is not
Oh,
accurate. This is so inaccurate."
Do you remember who made that made the video you're talking about? Because I
I
may know.
can't remember.
Was it a
can't
Chinese
remember her
woman?
name. She was a Chinese woman, yes. She was like, "So speaking from experience as a Chinese woman, this is
Oh,
not right."
oh fuck! I'm spacing on her name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
I'm gonna look it up because I think everyone should watch the video because it does explain to you how this film absolutely butchered Chinese culture while also being terrible.
Oh, it's by Jiran J. Zhao.
That's her name.
Jiran J. Zhao, yeah. Because like I literally typed Mulan Chinese woman on YouTube, and that's the first video that came on.
Yeah.
But yeah, she did
She
one on the
makes-
original one recently as well.
Ah, cool.
Be good,
I have
be
to
good.
check that one out. But yeah, she was very good, and she just explains it very well. That like, look, this is not part of the culture, and I would
Also-
be okay with it.
There's a video by Accented Cinema, and he's a Chinese filmmaker in Canada who made a video by saying Mulan as well. That is very good.
Well, yeah, basically everything she says, it's terrible.
Yeah, Mulan. I'm getting the feeling, Amy, that Mulan 2020 is shit.
Yeah. And do you know what? I understand, like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, there's not going to be a Mushu character," and it's like, do you know what? Even a Mushu character wouldn't have fixed this movie.
Do you know what? I think I'm gonna watch this film now.
for it.
I'm very interested.
It's just terrible.
Like just
And,
to
like,
laugh at it.
Yeah, it made me so sad because I remember really enjoying the old Mulan, and I'm aware it's not culturally correct.
Like that's the thing with a lot of Disney remakes. Like the more I think about it, and like I don't think I've liked a single one when I really think about it.
Like, not properly liked, like, because yeah, when we mentioned Aladdin, you were like, "Yeah, Aladdin was fine."
Yeah,
So
it's like
literally, there's only been one that's got a fine.
okay, so
There's
like
no been like, "Oh, this is amazing." It's just, yeah, it's okay.
I had a fun time with Aladdin. It's a one and done. I'm never gonna watch it again. Whereas the Aladdin cartoon, I fucking love it. You know.
Oh,
Um,
the fact that the genie works is literally because they wrote the part for him. They literally looked at Robin Williams like stand up and wrote the genie for him. Like the way they got him to do it was they took his stand up and literally took a part of it and animated it and then showed it to Robin Williams, and he was like, "Oh my god, I want to do this part now."
When a lot of the lines like improvised and then they animated it after. the
yeah,
fact.
they animated
that's-
around his lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like they took his stand up at first and then did animations around the stand up to see if they could do it, and then they showed him and they said, "This is what we want to do for the genie," and he was like, "I will do it."
Right, gotcha. And then I just like riffed a bunch and then
Yeah.
yeah, gotcha.
So yeah, and like this is kind of what Lindsay Ellis says in a video is like, this is why that example of a big name doing a part worked, whereas the rest of them, it's not really it's not the parts written for them, it's they're trying to fit into a part, and that's why it doesn't always work as well as the genie.
Yeah.
It's like even the other live action remakes, like I was bored out of my mind watching Cinderella, and not even James Marsden, James, fucking old man,
That guy.
the oldest dog boy that gets killed in the Red Wedding, him.
Oh, yeah.
And James Marsden, isn't it?
No, Richard Madden.
Richard Madden. Oh, I was well off.
Oh, I just thought of a live action that I genuinely enjoy, and it's Maleficent.
I couldn't stand Maleficent, either one.
I actually kind of enjoyed it.
I hated the second one.
Oh, the
The
second one
second
was
one can go away,
so
but the first
shit.
one I liked. I kind of liked it.
I had so many issues with the first one. Like, okay, so she is the villain, but no, she's misunderstood. Oh no, she is the villain now, and no, she's actually still misunderstood. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, make up your mind. And
I mean, I was a little bit annoyed that she didn't turn into a dragon. That bit, I was like, why?
and then you got
Why no dragon? I'm so mad.
and you got Sholto Copley doing a Scottish accent, and it's like, what the
Oh my
fuck's
God,
going
yeah.
on?
I have issues with it, but out of all of them, I did have a good time with it.
And
Fair
then they
enough.
And then they waste Chiwetel Ejiofor in the sequel.
Yeah, the sequel, I was like,
Oh,
what are you doing?
do you know what? I
Why
forgot
is
he
this
was
a
in it.
sequel?
Exactly.
And Ed Screen, Miyavi. Oh my god, yeah. There's so many people in the sequel that I just forget are there.
I think Warren Davis is in it.
Oh my
Probably.
god, yeah, he was Rumpelstiltskin?
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he was a midget boy working with fairies and extracting their
Yeah.
dust or something. I can't remember.
Oh, I forgot that Imelda Staunton, who plays Umbridge, she's in that film.
Yeah, she's
As
one of the
like one of the
godmothers.
fairies.
Yeah.
Yeah. They made them so incompetent in the live action films. Like, I know they're not very good in the cartoon version of Sleeping Beauty, but like to this level of stupidity, I was like, you kind of butchered these characters.
Yeah. And then
They're supposed to be the good fairies, not the stupid fairies.
there's Jungle Book, which I
Oh,
watched
Jungle
once.
Actually, Jungle Book wasn't terrible.
Like, I get what they were going for, and I applaud them for having the balls to do something different, but execution-wise, I'm like, sure.
I mean, when I watched Alice in Wonderland in the cinema, I enjoyed it. But then when I go back and watch it, and I'm just like, Johnny Depp's accent is a thing.
Like, visually, I love Alice in Wonderland, but the
Yes.
story is so fucking cringe.
Yeah, and also again Johnny Depp's accent.
Like,
Oof.
I reckon Johnny Depp could have been a great Hatter, but
If he just didn't
not
do
that
the
Hatter.
Yeah.
Like, if it was the animated Hatter, cool. Not this
Sure,
one.
yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna dip because I think about 3 hours is my limit on a podcast on
Yeah.
being able to like maintain concentration and that.
How
Yeah,
fucking
About
dare
half
you.
an hour past that already, so my brain's just like. "Bleh."
That's fine.
No.
I think we were gonna wrap up soon anyway, because now
Yeah.
we're literally just delving into Disney movies, and that should be that could be a different stream altogether.
How dare
Disney
you dip
remakes.
out? How fucking dare you? I'll hunt you down. I'll kill you.
please do.
But yeah, I mean, fuck, 3.5 hours. Yeah, it's almost as long as our simping session for Hill House.
Oh yeah, and then we've got our simping
was a-
session for Bly Manor next week.
Oh
Ooh.
Jesus,
But yeah.
yes, and hopefully, Tom will be there. But before we finish, Ryan, would you like to plug yourself so people know where to find you?
I love plugging myself.
Oh my.
With the
Yeah, it's-
anal plug or with just regular plugging?
Whatever plug you can find. I mean, you get the nice shock with the special kind, but
Oh my.
yeah, PsychoCerax. It's on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all of the things. I do Twitch streams 5 days a week. Currently about 10:30 p.m. on weekdays and 9 p.m. on Saturday. with a variety of games like Warzone Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Among Us Thursdays, and then like a variety thing on Saturday. Still haven't figured out what I'm doing next week. But yeah, and then all the VODs get exported to YouTube. So if like with many people, that's way too late for you to be watching streams. Just pop on the YouTube and it's all there if you're interested.
Links for Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube is in the description below. Subscribe to him.
Yep.
He's decent.
And also, I play on
Appreciate
the
it, baby.
Among Us, so if you want to watch me play a video game badly, tune into the Thursdays and I'll be there too. My name is Trash Panda.
If you want to watch me murder my fiance.
Just do it frequently.
I mean, it's kind of like what you have to do at one point in your life, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the best part.
I murdered him back, but I did it in front of everyone, so I got caught.
Remember that. That was a good one.
I have a question, Amy.
Hello.
Is Trash Panda a reference to Guardians too?
A little bit.
I was thinking.
It's also mostly because like I relate to raccoons and I love pandas and like Trash Panda just fits me so well, so I'm like, that's my name.
She's trash.
'Cause I am trash
Oh my god.
and I am a panda.
Amy, Panda, Netflix, watch Agretsuko. It's about a red panda.
I know, I love Agretsuko.
It's
I have a
fucking
t-shirt
awesome.
of Agretsuko on and I'm just like, that's me. Minus the being able to sing metal because I wish I could do that.
Oh, Agretsuko's
if
so
I could do
good.
that, that's how I would talk all the time.
Righto then. So, thank you everyone for coming by to watch this podcast with our lovely, lovely guests. And I hope you had a good time. And yeah, we will be back next week talking about The Haunting of Bly Manor, hopefully with a guest. And failing which, it'll probably be another 3+ hour stream. So hey. So thank you.
A lot of fun.
Wait, expecting a lot of com.
No, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's
Fun.
totally not what I heard.
was wondering what that word was as well.
It's Pornhub, I swear to God, it's in my mind right
no.
now. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming.
F-U-N. Fun.
I gathered.
To do fun stuff together.
And you know what? I think that's the perfect note to end the stream on. So thank you everyone, and bye.
Goodbye.
Fun. See you later.
Toodaloo. Have you stopped recording?